We're back! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new album review / reaction here on the channel. Though it's not a new album, this is something we're going classic. We are back, finally, with a new Metallica video. This is one that everybody... The few people who have stuck around on the channel since we've recorded our last Metallica video, which was like 6-7 months ago, and I secretly released my own Metallica video reacting to this dude who went to the two Metallica shows in Minneapolis earlier this year. When they've been doing the like two shows back-to-back days. Chris Parker, you didn't go to that show, did you, when it came to Seattle, or has it not got there yet?
No, it did, and it was crazy because, like, it was a 2-day show on a Friday night and a Sunday night, which was a really weird way of doing it, I thought.
That is interesting.
But that whole weekend, every third person I saw in the city was wearing Metallica shirts, and it was crazy to not be a part of that.
Now, one of the things I learned watching that video, it was sort of like a vlog type thing of a guy whose channel I watch sometimes called The Art of Guitar. And a lot of the people in the comments were saying that they really liked Art of Guitar and that it was cool that one of their favorite Metallica reaction channels was reacting to one of their favorite guitar channels. So that was really funny and weird. And then the Art of Guitar, the guy from the channel, commented and was like, "This is awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. I should do a reaction to your reaction to my video." And I was like, please don't waste time doing that. But instead, watch some of our other good Metallica content where we react to it, listening to it for the first time. But anyway, one of the things I learned in that video is that when Metallica goes to a city for their tours, they sometimes will set up literally a store near the venue where people, for like a week or a couple days, or maybe just like a day or so, or maybe just the days of the show, but usually like a week before, so people can get their merch before they go to the show. So did you hear of like a Metallica store coming and being set up there?
I had no idea. That explains why so many people had merch, though.
I'll bet that there was a Metallica store somewhere, and you missed out on that.
I bet you're right.
But okay, well, that's interesting because I know we had talked about it kind of back when we did 72 seasons. You guys had talked about possibly trying to get tickets to go see a show, but
yeah,
that's all right. I mean,
it's kind of a whole thing. There's a reason I didn't go, and it's not a great one, so I'll just skip.
That's all right. I think they've been having so much fun on this tour. It seems like to me that I'm pretty sure we're going to get at least one more Metallica album from them.
I think so too.
And they've said that they'll make music until they have to quit because of health issues or something. So I think they'll keep going. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back. My name is Patrick. This is Chris. That's Chris. Thank you for joining us. And in case this is your first video watching us here on the channel, over the last 2 years, I had never heard any of the Metallica albums with the exception of the Black Album. So we went back through, we reacted to every single one of their albums, all of their studio albums at this point. But now we've just got S&M left, and then the second disc of Garage Inc., which people keep pestering us, do that, do that, do that. And so we're going to end up having to do that eventually too, but we'll probably not get to that till next year. But so yeah, go check out any of those videos if this video is cool and you sort of enjoy hanging out with us and watching these. We like to think of them kind of like podcasts. I kind of think of it almost sort of like a fan commentary over the music, and in this case over the video as well, because we're not going to just sit here and watch and listen and not say anything. That is not what we do here. We talk over the music. We talk over the video. And when Chris Parker and I earlier in the year, we reacted to 2 live Metallica songs from, I think it was their show. Do you remember which show that was, Chris?
Was it the 91 show?
It may have been. I know we did Creeping Death, because that was one of the songs that I couldn't remember really at all. And that was one of the ones people requested we react to. So we did Creeping Death, and I think we did...
Was it their 89 show, their Seattle show?
It was either 89 or 91, but I can't remember which.
The Binge and Purge disc?
Yes, it was one from one of those for sure. But anyway, we did that, and people got really mad at us in the comments for talking over it and not just sitting and watching it. And so I'm just going to say right up front here, that is not what we're here to do. We are here to talk about what we're hearing and what we're seeing. I'm going to be mindful of that, though. I understand you guys want us to hear the music and pay attention to it as much as we can. And so we're going to do that. And I will promise I will pay attention. But I also want to point out, too, that we are all hearing the music at our own volumes. We have our own control. So the mix that you're going to hear in this video when I am done editing it and upload it to YouTube is going to be a nice mix of all of us talking and everything. The audio will be balanced. However, for us, we generally have the music blasting pretty loud in our headphones, and then we can hear each other talking as well. But we do have it loud enough, so don't worry about the fact like if we're talking, we can still kind of register what's going on. I know some people were kind of confused about how that works, but
it makes me wonder if the only reason people like Mystery Science Theater is because the movies are bad. Because I was just thinking, imagine watching Mystery Science Theater and all you see is the back of, you see the three silhouettes and nobody's saying anything and preferring that over anything else.
I mean, that's the point of Mystery Science Theater is to hear them talking.
Right.
And I kind of think that we're doing the same thing, but we also have the, I do understand the other side of it too. People want me specifically because I've never seen or heard any of this. And for this video in particular, I didn't even look at the song. I do have the, I'm not looking at the back. I know the set list is on there. I have not looked at the set list of this, believe it or not. I'm sure I looked at it 2 years ago when I got that, when we started doing these, but I don't know. I'm assuming all their big songs are on this, and I'm assuming probably all of their songs that could be considered ballads will be on this, because it'd probably be easier, I assume, to get the orchestra to work with that. But I don't know what the songs are, and I think a fun game we can play while we're doing this is, does Patrick know what this song is? even though I know I've heard every Metallica song, I'm pretty sure that they've released, with the exception of a couple B-sides and things.
A lot of songs.
Yeah, and I don't remember, like, if you just like played me a minute of a song from the middle of some instrumental section from the middle of a song from Ride the Lightning, I would not know what it is, or Master, or probably Kill 'Em All. So, but anyway, so yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff to do today. I think I had a point I was winding up towards earlier, and I don't remember what it was.
The important thing is,
yeah,
this is what you're winding up towards, is that when you hate that we talk over the songs, what you need to do is go to all the other videos and find all the other comments where the other people have told us that they hated us talking and upvote them.
Yes.
So do that. That way we really get the message that you hate us talking over the songs.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
You can also
make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get all the notifications, so then you can later tell us that you hate when we talk over the videos.
So you don't make it, so you do not miss an opportunity to hate us out loud.
Yeah.
And a great man once said, if you don't like what we're doing, write it and type it into a notepad on your computer and then turn off your computer.
There you go. Yes. Speaking of fans and people that hate us, I do want to point out our amazing Discord, because honestly, like, if we wouldn't have had the Discord this whole time, like, I don't know if I would have enjoyed doing these Metallica videos as much as I do, because I do enjoy doing it with you two guys. But the Discord just makes everything so awesome, and it's growing little by little, but it's still a very small community of people who you can you recognize people's names, and a lot of the conversation is centered around Metallica. But there are people there who enjoy other artists we react to. There are people there who I know, Chris, are excited for you and I to do our top 12 albums of the year.
That's nonsense.
Well, I did just make that up, but I wanted to point that out. I totally didn't fabricate that. No one said that they're excited for it, but I'm excited for it, and that's all that matters. Yeah. You and me, we're all that matters. But anyway, we do have a lot of fun, cool people there that do comment, and I go on there and ask people questions. Like in this case, we were trying to figure out what version of this to react to. People were trying to suggest, should we just listen to it or should we watch the video too? I had a poll. That's why we decided to do it with the video. And so, like, it's a cool place, and we go there, check it. We talk about. I kind of have updates on my health issues and everything. And we talk about just general things. And then we have a whole channel just for Metallica. So if you just want to go there and talk about Metallica with other Metallica fans, I will say if you go there and you're rude, you're going to get smushed out of existence. So don't do that. Come here and
don't do that.
Be a nice guy, like all the rest of us. But it's a cool place to go and participate. And you can, in the future, hopefully vote on songs for us to do from other bands like Iron Maiden and Slayer and Pantera and stuff, and we do some of that stuff. Tool, hopefully coming up. I want to do Avenged Sevenfold, because we've had a bunch of people ask that. Some people have said Hailstorm. We've got all sorts of stuff people want us to do. Slipknot. And all that stuff is stuff I've never really heard before. So really excited to do some of that. So check out the Discord. The link for it will be in the description, and at least go there and look around and see if it looks like people you'd enjoy being around and hang around with, because that's kind of what we just do there, is hang around with each other.
I feel
so
like
anyway,
it's a
about the
surprise
Discord.
Sorry, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, go ahead. Chris, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it's a surprise that you don't know Slipknot, and then I feel like it's another one of those things that you'll say every time I mention Slipknot, you talk about how it's a surprise that I don't know Slipknot.
That does come up. I agree with you that it is sort of surprising. I mean, I know a couple of their singles. It's kind of like Korn. You're always shocked that I don't know every Korn song, but I do have some Korn albums that I have listened to all the way through, and I do enjoy. I would definitely say I like Korn way more than Slipknot. However,
for sure.
However, I don't know that much Slipknot.
For sure.
And I know Chris Schoenberg has told me that Slipknot's first album we should listen to just because it sounds so wacky, like the production of it. I've heard, and I'm sure I've heard probably one. Is that Wait and Bleed probably off that album, which is one of their biggest songs. But I do know some of their songs like Vermilion, and I know People Equal Crap, and I know that kind of stuff. I know there's songs that were on MTV and Headbangers Ball and stuff back when we were in high school and stuff, but I don't know anything recent at all. So yeah, but I don't really like a lot of metal bands from the United States. I don't really like a lot of music from the United States, to be honest. So I guess there's that. But so yeah.
So I was scrolling through the Discord here because I don't log into this regularly, but I am here for those of you who are. Mm-hmm. And so I was on the general tab, and I scrolled down to the bottom, and I saw a Spotify Wrapped screenshot, and I stopped myself because the thought that I had in my head was, look at this bleeping loser that has Nightwish as his second most played band, Metallica as his third place. Oh, Children of Bodom, I guess that's okay. And then Linkin Park. Blah. And then I scroll up, and lo and behold, if it isn't Patrick's Spotify.
Amazing.
It's so funny.
I can just imagine you being like, man, this looks just like a list. Patrick
what a loser! Yeah,
and you're like, oh
yeah. The list. It's so funny though, and I will say, and I'm going to talk about that a lot in our top 12 albums of the year list video, but my Spotify is not very representative of how much I listen to stuff because I burn stuff. If I don't have the physical CD, if I don't buy it, I burn it onto a CD. And I listen to it that way. So the fact that Linkin Park is on there is shocking to me because I listened to Linkin Park earlier in the year because we were going to do several Linkin Park videos. So I was listening to them for a while, for maybe 3-4 days in a row. But I just constantly listen to new stuff. So the fact that Linkin Park's on there, I'll bet if you looked, I probably listened to Linkin Park less than 5 hours. Where as opposed, or maybe not, that's actually probably silly, probably less than an hour. But if the total number of bands, those are the other two pictures I posted at the same time, the number of bands that I listened to over the year is here. I might as well just look it up because I've got the picture saved here on my phone, which I do now have a new Google Pixel 9 phone.
Yes.
So Merry Christmas to me. Although there's no headphone jack on it, and I almost deleted myself when I found that out. Hold on, I got to figure out how to actually access my files. And there's a picture of a cool Godzilla 1998 popcorn and drink holder.
Stay on target.
Sorry. I saw Godzilla and I got excited. Okay, images. Hold on, I'm looking for screenshots. Okay, there we go. I played 6,561 individual songs this year.
Wow.
And I listened to 2,341 different artists.
Yeah, that's on the Discord too.
Yeah.
That's really something.
Right. And so those are the numbers that I actually care about because that means the 2,341 artists, that is what I whittled down into 12. So be impressed with
Before we
those.
started recording, Patrick was asking me to say something about my favorite records. So I looked at my most played songs, and Tidal doesn't do the Wrapped as good as Spotify does. But I went and looked at my most played songs from 2024. And I listened to in 2024, not that we're from 2024, there was exactly one album on there from 2024.
That's awesome.
It's sad that I didn't hardly go back and listen to anything that came out this year, but
yeah, because
my numbers are pretty sad too.
Usually every year you have like you usually have like 3 or 4 things you'll be like, oh, this is what I listen to all year. You know, usually tell me like a little list. When we are doing our list, you'll be like, oh, this. Okay, so one more thing I want to get into real quick before we actually get into the Metallica.
We can talk about this while the video's playing.
No,
Nobody
not
cares.
this part.
People
not this
like
thing.
it when we talk about
not this thing
over the videos,
especially if it's not relevant. Yeah.
So for those, okay, I guess 2 things. We're just
I'm
real
doing
quick.
my albums list during the movie.
That's fine. You can do so. Real quick. For those of you who have been following us and been here on the channel with us, you will know that in December of last year, January of this year, in the middle there, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and we haven't uploaded a video for a while, so just a quick update on that. At the end of this year here, because we're in December now, by the time we're recording this, I think it's like December 12th or 13th or something like that. I went through the whole year of very intense treatment, and I did a test here towards the end of the year, I believe it was at the end of October, and it turns out that it basically everything didn't work as well as they wanted it to, and so now at the beginning of next year I have to have a bone marrow transplant, which is quite a process, and I'm going to have to move into Omaha, the nearest city to me, so I can be close to the hospital I've been going to throughout the whole year for 100 days, and it's going to be a big process, but I'm thinking as long as everything goes all right, I'll be okay to still do things on the channel, interact with people on Discord, stuff like that. So I don't think the channel is going to be on hiatus or anything, at least not for a while, maybe for a couple of weeks. But I'm going to have some special things scheduled to come out over those weeks, so stay tuned for that. But everything should be hopefully fine. I can't say much more than that because I don't know exactly what's going to be happening. But at the moment, right now, I feel really great. And just yesterday, I got off of the Blincyto medication I've been on for 4 weeks, which is for 4 weeks, for 24 hours a day, I've been hooked up to this medication, and I had to carry this bag around with me. And just yesterday, I got it unhooked, and now I have 2.5 weeks without it. And so the fact that I can just stand up and walk anywhere, I still feel like I have something attached to me. So it's really great. But I feel really good, and I just got a call from one of my case managers yesterday after I went into Omaha and did some lab work yesterday, and she called me and said everything looks really, really, really good. So that's really great. I just wish it was for good reasons, But anyway, so there's that. Now, for those of you who have also been following us, you will know at the end of last year, before I knew we had cancer, I joked around a lot about starting a Patreon so everyone could send us money so that I could buy a PS5. Well, I'm happy to say, because of all the generous donations from everybody here on the channel, that I am the proud owner of a PS5. And
I did not know that.
Well, the thing you didn't know was the donations to the channel, because I totally made that up. I just wanted to make everyone watching feel a little guilty, like, I didn't even know he did that. He has cancer, and I could have given him money, and he could have been happy, and he had a PlayStation 5.
I was about to say, where the fuck is our paycheck?
Been happy.
Yeah, but
You've been buying video games, and we don't get paid for this.
Yeah, but no. Also, don't swear. It makes the videos harder.
Sorry.
That's all right. But anyway, yes. But anyway, so no.
I swear when he coughs.
There was. Oh, I gotta edit that out too.
Use that as the bleep.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Don't make me laugh. I'll start coughing.
Yeah, I'll be over when he does that.
Yeah. So anyway, no, there were no donations or anything. I saved up money, extra money throughout the year from the awesome job I have making $150 a month, and I managed to get a PS5 earlier this month. Insert footage of me doing some awesome takedown assassination kill in Assassin's Creed right now.
Servants, prepare a glass of date juice on ice and serve it with a plate of honeyed bread and pomegranates. Then prepare the bath salts. I am utterly beat. Paradise is where you find it. Real answers are in books. They are always in books. Am I not right?
Always say that.
When I get that book translated,
Hey!
then we'll see who is the real head of the order.
As you wish, say that. What? You'll be back.
Zahra thought that strange book would get their great work functioning. Good thing Hunain could not translate a single word.
And that probably will take me 2 hours to edit, so that was not worth it. But anyway, so yes, I got a PS5, and
that's exciting.
It is very exciting. I've got several games loaded because I can only upload games and do stuff like that, update games and download games on holidays because my internet, we get free internet those days. So on Thanksgiving, I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff, and I can do the updates to those games on Christmas. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Let me tell you. The timing on that's really great because the new Silent Hill is Game of the Year material for sure.
Oh, really?
It's unbelievably good.
You know what's not Album of the Year material though?
What?
The horrific soundtrack to that game, which completely stripped everything that was special and awesome about the original Silent Hill 2 soundtrack and made it into the most generic, boring Hollywood horror mush that is unlistenable garbage.
That's interesting. I was going to look that up and see how many songs were the same and stuff like that, because I noticed in the game that it didn't seem to have much for like music. Like there's definitely music there, but it takes a pretty big backseat to the atmospheric stuff.
Yeah.
But the atmospheric stuff is so world class that I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's what it's there for. That's its purpose. But every single thing about every Silent Hill-ish part of it, all the trip hop, all the drums, all the distortion taken away completely. There's nothing. It's just orchestral score basically and ambient stuff. And so I was excited, Chris. I was like, this year is going to be the first year I have a soundtrack, a video game soundtrack on my top 12 albums list.
I was going to ask you if we could put soundtracks on the top 12.
You absolutely can.
A banger.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can, as long as it came out this year. But they have a 6-disc set of the Silent Hill game. They have the 3-disc original set and then the 3-disc extras set, and it's all the most boring, basic, bland crap. Plus the few songs that are actual songs with like lyrics and the like sort of grungy songs, and those were all re-recorded, and those sound good. They don't have the same like grittiness to them as the originals, but they're wider, they're more stereo, and there's a little bit more to them. And it was all recorded by Akira Yamaoka. But they went for modern feel instead of the uniqueness of the original Silent Hill games.
I remember hearing that they mentioned that Yamaoka is that like is still doing the music for the soundtrack, but the way that I saw it presented was like sort of like and kind of gave the impression that he's like involved but didn't really write like a whole soundtrack.
It wouldn't
so I figured at
surprise
the
me.
very least they would have just taken the old tracks and like upscaled them or something, but if it's all just kind of ambient hokum, like I mean there's not any room left in the soundscape for that music, so it makes sense. But
and I definitely want to play the game, and they did have it on sale for $30 on Black Friday, but I've got like 6 games loaded on my PS5, and I'm playing so slow. I just want to get through Assassin's Creed Mirage before Assassin's Creed Shadow comes out, because man, am I excited for the Japanese one. But Mirage so far, whew, Chris, I know you like Bloodywood and stuff like that. That Indian influence, that's obviously the setting of the game, but oh man, it's really good. It feels like an old school Assassin's Creed. It's really great.
that's cool.
Okay, sorry. Anything else before we get to Metallica? No, let's get to Metallica. So, I did not look anything up about this. This is all going to be a big surprise to me. This is the first time we're going to be doing a reaction to a video like this. This is only the second time we have Chris Schoenberg here as Remote Chris II. And so hopefully everything works out okay, just so everybody knows what we're going to be doing. And if I tell you this process and you're like, you guys are idiots, why don't you do this? Please let me know in the comments if there's an easier way for us to do this. Because as of right now, we don't know any programs, software, whatever we need to have installed or whatever to use to where I can start a video playing on my computer and stream it or share it or cast it or whatever to them so that I have control over the video that they're seeing. We don't really know how to do that in a way that makes sense while recording. So what we're doing is I'm recording 4 signals into OBS: my camera, Chris's camera, and the video. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, or count up, whatever. Sorry. I was trying not to cough. For a second, I was just like, wow, I'm so stupid. Holy crap. I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, and we're going to sync up all of us hitting play on our own devices. So that's crazy. There's a lot of moving parts to that. I'm hoping everything works all right. But if anybody knows of a better way for us to do that, I would love to hear it. Also, in case anybody is curious, the yellow bit that's my ice here is a mixture of orange juice and mango flavored Tampico juice. The Mountain Dew,
finally, at last.
The Mountain Dew is plum flavored Mountain Dew Purple Thunder.
You're just drinking garbage water. Like, there's no way that ice drink.
And I also have
like, oh, that's exactly what this purple Mountain Dew needed was orange juice and.
Well, I didn't do that on purpose. This morning I had orange juice, and I left a little bit left in the bottom of the cup, and then later on in the day for lunch I had mango Tampico juice, and I left a little bit in the bottom of the cup because I knew we were going to be recording today, and I just went and grabbed the first Mountain Dew I found, which was Purple Thunder, and here we go.
You know,
I think about it too hard.
My friend Mike, a few years ago, started using, like, he would make a pot of coffee and then he would have some, and then the next day he would just warm that same pot up again until he went through the week and drank it all. And that is some old man shit, and that's what you're doing.
I think put it in the fridge between.
I doubt it. I don't know.
Coffee gets moldy fast, man. That's
funny.
That's dangerous.
Okay. All right, everybody. New Metallica.
Nope.
Live Metallica.
Old Metallica.
Old Metallica. Live Metallica. So
the final appearance of Jason Newsted as Metallica's bass player.
This show.
Oh, is that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Do you want to Wikipedia this real quick for us, Chris, and just see like the date this happened and all that stuff?
Okay.
Just see if we can find any. We can listen to the first song. You can kind of look at that while we're doing.
I've listened to this album a lot, but I don't think I've ever watched the video.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
So the version we're going to be watching, can we say what it is, Chris?
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
It's on YouTube.
Well,
on YouTube.
It was put on YouTube how many years ago? 3 years ago by one of the awesome people in our Discord named Nick Tendius if anyone wants to check him out. His channel on YouTube is NickTendious, Nick
You're going to
Tendious.
put a link in the description.
I'll put a link to this exact video in there for sure, so people can just click on the video and it'll take you to his channel. But he is a person that talks and comments on a lot of stuff in our Discord, and he said basically what he did with this was he ripped the DVD, which I'm sure is illegal, so he can be taken to jail now. Haha, one less person in the Discord. And he ripped the DVD, I believe, and then he loaded it into something, and he up-resed it all to HD. And for the audio, I believe he said he did something to it. Chris, do you remember what he said? He loaded it
something on AI in the description.
It just said that it was enhanced to look better and sound better, and then I checked the comment. It's basically just made louder.
Upscaled the DVD footage through Topaz Video Enhance AI software.
Right,
Nice.
and the audio, he said he just loaded the audio tracks into Audacity or Audition or something, and used a simple preset to like boost the volume. Is all I'm pretty sure all he did. So it should be just. It shouldn't be. This should be the original mix, just boosted a little in volume, as far as I understand.
Yep. According to M. Maddie 1337, 3 years ago.
Oh no, he's looking at
he
comments.
He says, I would call this the ultimate version of S&M. Every time I want my S&M fix, I come to this video. Thanks, dude. I come to this video might be a little bit extra. Did you really need to share that? But thank you, Maddie.
And thank you, Nick Tendious, for uploading this.
Thank you, Nick Tendious.
And for being such an awesome member of our Discord community. So go there and show him some love, and also subscribe to our Discord and YouTube channel. Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Do you have any information for us, Chris? Or are you going to look through it kind of while we're going through?
It's actually pretty small, the Wikipedia for it. It's basically just album info.
Okay, I mean, I could not find any interesting images or photos of this while I was looking for some sort of an image for us to put in the background here. I didn't want to look up too much because I don't want to see anything. I don't know if I was looking at pictures of S&M 2 or S&M 1. And so...
Did James look 30 or 60?
Yeah, good question. Like I said, I was trying to just kind of glance. I really honestly was trying not to listen, not to look too much. I don't know if this is them performing in a circle or on a stage with an orchestra or something like that. I think it's in a circle, which is a little bit of a bummer to me. Oh, I was going to explain this to everybody real quick. So, we'll listen. I'll explain later between songs or something. Let's get to the music first.
Let's hit the play button, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
let's do it.
Everybody, here we go. Also, I have ads on YouTube, so we'll see what happens with that.
I tried to set you up so that you don't,
I know,
and you actively
did.
denied me.
I know. I want to give due to Nick Tendious and Metallica. All right. Starting the video at 0.00 for anyone who wants to listen along with us, which you just watch this video.
That's known as the beginning?
Yes. Intro. In 3, 2, 1. And you guys can see...
that's sort of the 90s Metallica logo.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's sort of the one from Black Album, isn't it?
It's closer to
that.
Similar. Which this came out in what year, Chris? 1997 or something?
01.
What? Really?
Wow, 01. Wow.
1999 it says on the
okay.
disc. So.
Yeah, I'll listen to that then. But
okay, here's the conductor dude.
Terrible.
Yep, he is now dead.
The conductor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer. No, he's just the conductor. Is he the guy that like helped write, like compose the
Composer,
song?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He died in 03, actually, shortly after this.
Wait, who is it?
Michael Kamen.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Has he done anything else we would know?
Die?
Something, unfortunately, we're all familiar with at one point or another.
Otherwise, I don't really know. Let's see.
Okay, look at this idiot. Has to put on his headset. What a dummy. You gotta hear the click. Gotta hear all those tracks Metallica uses when they perform
live. The calm
live.
headset. It probably just says go.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of orchestra there.
Ooh.
Oh.
Duh, this is what opens it. I knew that.
For whom the bell tolls?
No.
Or,
they have the same intro for every concert. It's Ecstasy of Gold.
Is that that's a song of theirs?
It's
an
Ennio Morricone song.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I know this song actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
I actually saw this song at the Bellagio. The fountains were going to it. I was like, this is Metallica's intro song.
That's awesome.
Why does this hotel? Dude, like 2005. So.
When I was in Vegas, the Bellagio was like my one thing I wanted to make sure I do because I love the Ocean's movies so much, the first Ocean's movie, and that was a really awesome moment getting to do that. Okay, so the orchestra, the stereo mix sounds great so far.
You know,
it's a really
here's
good
my
one.
thing.
Hey, this is from the Modelo alcohol commercial. Right?
Find a different thing for this to be from for you.
This now.
It's also from Metallica.
Good, better.
And I'm sure whatever movie the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or whatever movie this is from. Once Upon a Time in the West.
You were gonna say something, I thought, just now.
Me?
I don't like stereo recordings. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I like my stereo to be mixed and...
Like post?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like, it just... I don't know.
I know what you mean. You're hearing
the piano? Like, sometimes piano doesn't need to be stereo. A lot of times piano shouldn't.
Okay, there's James.
That's a good point. That's
young
a good
James.
point.
No, that was Lars, wasn't it?
No, that was James.
James was first.
Why would James come out first? That's weird, isn't it? Oh, because he's got to play first.
Yep. What a boss.
Dude, I am so pumped, you guys. Let's go. Let's go. I seriously, I was going to get into this earlier, but I love bands when they play with orchestras. I'm shocked I have not heard this so far.
Hope you like instrumental tracks.
That I don't care for as much. But if I can see something with a visual aid, am I watching this in the highest resolution possible? Nope. Now I'm watching it in 1080.
Well, it's not real 1080, so it's all right.
It's upscaled. That's all right.
Right, but you can't create information.
Yeah, but the audio track now is going to be completely different, though. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, good point.
And everyone was saying in the Discord the music is what matters the most, but they want to be able to... Now that sounds kind of familiar.
It should.
Why are the viol... Oh, no, those aren't the violins. Those are the violas or the cellos. Violins should be on the left.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yes, they are. I hear them now. So, yeah, it must have been a viola or...
Patrick used to record symphonies.
I did, and I'm very familiar with how they work.
They're supposed to be on the left, like universally?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that's where they sit.
Well, the first chair violin is the leader of the orchestra other than the conductor, and she, or he, generally a she, sits in closest to the conductor on his left-hand side on stage right. This is awesome, by the way.
It is awesome.
Good. It is awesome.
All right, here we go. Massive kick and snare, like all Metallica stuff.
I love how much bass
The
is in this
drums
album,
are
too.
slightly to the right.
Yeah.
Huh.
A little bit, yeah.
And awful slicey
they're like here.
on the highs.
Yeah, the cymbals are pretty...
Yeah, they're pretty shiny.
Yeah, when I was listening to this originally to see how I felt about how it sounded, I was like, boy, that's a lot of highs. I don't know what happened to the enhancement. And I saw it was just made louder, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I guess that's how it is.
And you know, we complain about lack of highs so much. I don't mind a little abundancy of it. So from what I can tell, they are on a stage, and the audience is all facing them, and it's not a circle, right?
It's not a circle.
That makes me so happy.
Good. They usually have a circle layout for a lot of their normal concerts. But...
That is interesting.
Jason was always my favorite. I don't care.
A lot of people say that.
I don't know. Ever since the I Disappear video, I was like, oh, this guy's cool.
So Lars is just doing rhythm stuff now? I'm sorry, not Lars. Sorry, James. James is on the right. Kirk is on the left, right? Correct?
I think it's usually James left.
James is always on the left.
No.
Okay. See, if most of
Metallica records all have the hi-hat on the right side.
Right, but remember when we were reacting to most of the Metallica albums, I had my headphones that had their polarity reversed because of the extension. Remember? Not the polarity, the stereo image reversed. So, yeah. Okay. Dude, look at those huge video walls. And at the time, those were actual video walls, right? Not LCD boards, LCD LED boards.
I suppose that's probably true, yeah.
And this was only a single show, right? They recorded this only on a single show. Like they didn't tour with an orchestra.
No, they didn't tour. I think it was a 2-night show.
Okay.
And there's edits between the 2 different shows.
That'd be pretty irresponsible to just do it once with Metallica, especially.
Hey, that's what makes it special. Chris, do you want to look what song we're supposed to end on before we get to the intermission? Then, just so we know when we get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have a lot of time. Okay, Kirk here, on the right. Yes, for sure. What song is this, by the way?
This is,
It's not Orion, is it?
Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, Call of Cthulhu, okay. That's the instrumental at the end of Master of Puppets?
Lightning.
Lightning, okay. I thought Orion was at the end of Lightning.
No, sir.
That's the end, okay.
Yeah, Bleeding Me is the song that leads into the intermission.
Awesome, that's great. That's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Metallica song.
I like how James is sitting down through a lot of this. That makes me happy.
That's pretty awesome.
Take a rest, big guy.
So he's the first chair guitar?
Yep.
First stool, at least.
I do have 2 types of cough drops available, everybody. So, and if worse comes to worse, I got the official throat spray.
Is that the throat spray?
Yeah, but it's
I've never been able to use that stuff in my life.
It makes me gag every time. If I have to do it, you guys will see me puke almost.
I think it tastes good. I like that weird feeling it puts in your throat.
It tastes good, but I can't have anything just shoot into the back of my throat.
Good thing. Good thing you've chosen certain lifestyles.
Some of those orchestra guys got headphones on. That's something.
Yeah, they must have to rely on the drums or something for cues, maybe.
They're supposed to be looking at that fancy fellow with the wand.
They are.
Yeah,
with the wand. Metallicus Wingardius. I wish I had one of my wands.
It's really quite a thing with all those
awesome.
arches and stuff.
Is it supposed to, and that's a bridge, I assume, like some kind of the trusses of a bridge? That's very cool. This is at least making an instrumental song somewhat interesting. Now, here's the thing. I want to say this. I hope I want the orchestra to be this involved in all of the songs. Right. I don't want it to them to just play chords underneath the choruses.
I heard this.
You know, I want this. I want this throughout the whole thing.
Well, do you want me to tell you if you're going to get it, or you want to shut the hell up?
I do want to shut up. Also, does this connect right into the first song? Because we probably should pause before we get to the next song.
I was wondering if we would do pauses or not.
Yeah, we'll do pauses. That's what everyone said they wanted us to do. Unless you think we should keep going because it connects in an interesting way and then pause and go back. New song?
Nah.
No, not yet. That's right, they like to do this. End the song 40 times. I'm really surprised the guitars aren't more prominent in the mix. It's a really nice mix.
It's just right. It's a really nice mix.
Yeah, it's a very nice mix. You can tell they were listening to a lot of good music that incorporates metal and symphony into it, like Metallica. I'm sorry. My joke was ruined, like Nightwish. I was going to say like Nightwish. I was trying to make a Nightwish joke that Chris Schoenberg could roll his eyes at. Damn it. And I said Metallica, the inferior band, first.
What is that one camera shot they keep going to where it was just the guy's finger?
They are automating the sounds thing, you know. Like his guitar, Kirk's guitar there definitely got a little more prominent in the mix, which is nice. A lot of automation here.
One nice thing too is that the cuts aren't. It's not like a Whiplash edit where it's just like.
Is this the next song, or is it just the next movement of this one?
It's ending. It's this song ending. There's actually a little bit of a break here, if I remember right.
Okay. I think if people see my... Yep, you can see. Here, look, I'm itching his nose for him.
Classic joke that never gets old.
Well, I didn't know if people could see my mouse or not.
Kick drum sounds great.
It does.
It does.
It sounds massive.
Yeah, you can probably stop it there.
Very cool.
You'll want to pause it.
Okay.
You'll want to pause it.
What point?
Now.
Okay, I paused it at 12:42.
I'm at 12:46.
They have not started.
We're all screwed up now.
We can. You can go.
I'm back at 12:41. I'm closer. I want to live in the
done.
past anyway.
Okay, so when you hear band or produced song with orchestra, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to mind? And there is a correct answer to this. No, James Bond theme is what you should have said. Because
never would I. You could have given me 5 years.
Borgir was not the right answer because that's
no.
what I was going to say.
James Bond or Christmas songs are the two acceptable answers there. Because
those are both terrible answers. I never would have said either.
In pop culture, to the average lay person, when the only time nowadays you hear a song featuring an orchestra is whether it's either a James Bond song or you're listening to Christmas songs. And for the layperson, again, yes, we all know there's there's the Nightwishes out there that use orchestra and symphony all the time. But
did you people know, the people that are watching this video, that Patrick actually likes Christmas music?
Boy, does he ever.
I mean, I don't listen to it a lot, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I listen to.
What have you been listening to for the last week, Patrick?
Every album that came out this year.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
I mean,
when he listens, he takes the sleigh bells and he jingles them to himself.
Jingles them so they're Christmas songs.
I was debating, Chris, about doing a Metallica, because we did that for the Music Room, our old music podcast, where it was
wild how well it worked, too.
Can any song be made into a Christmas song by just adding sleigh bells? And we did it with as many genres as we could do. I was going to do a medley of Metallica songs. Can Jingle Bells make any Metallica song a Christmas song? But I decided not to spend all that effort and time into doing that. So I didn't do that. But, yeah. Okay, so anyway, but my point was going to be that in general, the record labels don't shell out the money to have a orchestra included on a song that they're going to promote somehow, unless it's for a James Bond or movie theme song nowadays. It doesn't have to just be James Bond, but some sort of a movie tie-in or Christmas music. For some reason, Christmas music, because it evokes the feelings of the old big band era and everything where a lot of that classic Christmas music comes from. People are willing, the artists and record labels are willing to go the extra step, even still today, to record, if not a full orchestra, just a string section or a little chamber section or something with them. And so I always find those kinds of things interesting. And then when I hear that a band performed with an orchestra, I'm always so curious because I've seen it done well, I've seen it done poorly. And it's always interesting because I imagine going to the show, it probably sounded phenomenal there. This was probably one of the quietest Metallica concerts because one of the things that I learned from that Art of Guitar video is that Metallica is known for playing very loudly. And they are one of the bands that's also known for, they force the acts before them to be a certain number of dB lower than them, so that when they come out, they are a specific set number of dB louder than the previous acts. So they know that loudness equals power, and the louder you are, the less well you have to play your instruments. So I imagine a show like this was quite different because you have the intricacies of the orchestra, and then you have the Metallica aspect of everything being played probably significantly quieter than they normally would. Is that right, Chris?
I mean, the mix, like you heard it stays pretty consistent throughout, and that's not like, it's not just 2 guitars and then maybe an orchestra somewhere down the street. Like it's really, they don't have, I think it's pretty balanced.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear that. For me, I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about this in any other Metallica video on the channel, but my favorite album of all time is by my favorite band, which is a band called Kaiser's Orchestra. And don't let that name fool you. They're not actually an orchestra. I think they have 7 albums. The first 6 don't have an orchestra on the album. That's just the name of the band, but they don't have strings or section or anything like that in any of their music. It's just a 5-piece band or a 6-piece band, but with lots of piano. But their last album, they knew it was going to be their last album, and at least for a while, and so they recorded the entire thing with an orchestra. And the leader of the band, Janov, he composed the songs such that the orchestra was just as integral a part of the song and the overall arrangement of the song as any of the other members of the band and any of the other instruments. So in that case, it wasn't guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and piano. It was guitar, bass, drums, vocals, piano, and orchestra. And every one of those individual elements had an equal part to play in every single song, whether it was a ballad or a high energy song or whatever it was. And so to me, that's like the high standard. And that album is my favorite album of all time. It's called Violetta Violetta Volume 3, if anyone wants to look it up, by the band Kaiser's Orchestra from Norway. And then my favorite single piece of media that I've ever...
Fans of the channel, Kaiser's Orchestra.
Yeah, fans of the channel will know. I talk about them all the time.
No, they commented on something.
Well, yeah, Kaiser's Orchestra I've commented on several.
Yeah, fans of the channel,
and you survived?
Kaiser's Orchestra.
Yeah. One of the guys from the band was like, "Hey, this is awesome," and I was like, "No, you're awesome." So thanks.
That sounds, man. That's.
But anyway, what I'm getting at is that they performed that entire album live with an orchestra in this awesome theater, and they recorded it all and released it on a Blu-ray, which I managed to get, and it's my favorite piece of media I've ever experienced in any genre of media, and it's a really truly special thing. And so to me, that's like the height that this, I don't think this could have possibly reached those heights, because that's just like the most greatest thing ever. That first track that we just heard, though, got me really excited, because it sounds like we're going to have equal orchestra with Metallica. And I was afraid when we were listening to this, it was going to be 70% Metallica, 30% orchestra. And it sounds like we're going to get a lot of orchestra mixed in here, hopefully in every song. Obviously, every song is going to have a different arrangement, but I'm really excited.
There are several songs in this set list that I consider to be my preferred version of the song.
I've also heard people say that in comments on some of our videos, and then we've had a pretty big thread going the last few days, because on Discord they knew we were going to be recording this video, so people were just talking about S&M a little bit. Several people were mentioning the cool things, the moments they were saying that they were excited to see me specifically react to, not having seen the concert. So I'm expecting there to be a couple surprises, maybe.
Did you see any of those? I want to see what that list looks like.
I have no idea what they are. People were just saying those moments or something.
Oh yeah.
And then also people keep referencing, and I've seen it referenced so much. I know there is a song called No Leaf Clover on this that I believe is a song that is only on S&M. They never released it on an album. Songs. I don't know if it's on this half we're going to be doing in this video. I should have explained that at the beginning of the video. This is only part 1 of 2, baby, so strap in. But there is a song called No Leaf Clover that is only for this performance, and it was only ever released on this set. So I'm excited to get to that song. I don't know if it's just going to be an instrumental. I don't know if there's going to be vocals. I hope so.
You'll probably recognize that, honestly.
You think so?
Got a lot of radio play, yeah.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if I know it. I don't think I will, but we'll see. Maybe I will.
We'll see.
So anyway, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to go get more into this. Did you look up anything else about this? Or we kind of went over it before.
This had to be 99, because that was one of the things I remembered when I started listening to this record, and it was definitely before 2001.
Right, because that was when they started recording. That was when all the kerfuffle with Some Kind of Monster, right? The recording of...
that's an interesting point.
Saint Anger.
Yeah, because Saint Anger came out in like 2003.
Yeah.
And it seemed like such a long time between... Well, I guess to get new Metallica music was technically Reload to Saint Anger.
Yeah. And Reload was 1997?
But the changing of time was a little bit weird, because it was definitely a different era. That's the then it's modern Metallica, basically, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember it being such a long time for them to get a new bass player and make new music. But I think that's just because I became a huge fan of them, like the day after Jason left the band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't even realize it at the time. I was like, these guys are cool, especially this guy. What do you mean? Where did he go?
Yep.
To go do Pop a Wheelie or whatever the he did.
God, to go make decades of terrible music choices.
What did he do?
Well,
after
actually,
this?
he left Metallica, and the first band that he joined after that was a band called Echo Brain that I really love. They have two fantastic albums.
I do kind of remember Echo Brain back in the day.
And they couldn't be less like Metallica, but then he left them and joined Voivod, and he's been J-Sonic for like 15 years.
Is he's still performing with Voivod?
As far as I know, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I know of Voivod, but I don't know anything about them at all.
Yeah, same. I tried to listen to them once, and I was like, nope, this isn't going to work.
All right, so I guess should we just move on to the next song?
Yes.
All right, so my timestamp is 12:42. If you guys want to try to get as close to that as you can. All right.
We're both 12:41, so I think we're good.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Aha! Master of Puppets. I know this one.
Nobody looks cooler playing guitar than James.
He should have wore jeans.
Yeah. And that shirt should have no sleeves.
Yeah, like he wore the suit jacket for the first thing, and then he took it off to do Master. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh, now you get to hear some vocal mix.
Yep. I noticed that the guitars, when the strings were and the orchestra was playing, the guitars had a high pass filter or a low pass filter on them. To allow some of the definition to come through. Mm-hmm. I think it's just on the guitars I don't think it goes on and off, but I really noticed it at certain points.
They blend with the strings really well.
Why does James have the mic so low?
Because he looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Anything
like,
he does.
I mean, he does look cool, but
I don't know. He's always done that.
Most rock stars like to step up to the mic, rather than go down on it.
I don't know. It makes him look like he's like 6'10".
How do you feel about letting the crowd sing the song?
Not my favorite thing. Not even when I'm there. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. I think it's cool for like bridges and things where there's maybe a building part or a repeating section at the end of a song, but not during the first chorus of the song.
I really like the way that James sings this whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
do you think he does it a little cleaner?
This is definitely his most like sing-songy performance of all of these songs.
But it's probably because, do you think they felt pressure being there with real musicians?
Come on.
But you know what I mean.
No, I think it was just how he shifted his vocal styles towards this period of time.
Yeah. For Load and Reload.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is like pretty much everything, excluding Saint Anger. This is how he sings pretty much all the time now.
Right, and since Black Album.
Yeah.
A lot of nice delayed reverb there at the end of the phrase. So they've got someone running sound effects for him. Unless they did that post, but I doubt it. I'm sure.
I don't.
Dude, the bells are awesome. The the orchestral bells and that kind of percussive stuff is cool. So yeah, the orchestra's going the whole time. This is great.
Oh yeah.
So far. Dude, the xylophone, like, that kind of stuff is so cool. Uh-oh.
And these sections, these songs.
Are they going to do like the acoustic guitar part and everything? Because that would be really cool here. They should have a classical guitarist come out and just. Oh.
I was just about to comment here. Kirk has to be in tune for the show, but as we can clearly see,
I guess not.
He doesn't have to
be. Never.
Fight me, comment section.
He's almost as bad as every saxophone I've ever heard.
Oh,
saxophones are great.
Bad take. Bad take. What is that guitar that he's playing, James?
James? Isn't it just another Explorer with like a weird wooden cover?
But what's the weird headstock?
Oh, I don't know. The amount of poser I am when it comes to knowing guitars has come out in full force just now.
You know, there's like a wood thing on it, and there's like a thing where they attach the thing to.
Because it looks, you know, it's got like a wood finish or whatever, like a wood paneling.
Yeah, which is cool.
But I was like, when you get to headstocks, it's like, I'm out. I don't know anything. I love this part that comes up, man. This is such a good part of this thing.
The guitar tone is a little lame.
Yeah, but you have to sacrifice that to get the orchestra over the top.
I know.
I've talked about that in every Nightwish video reaction we've ever done.
Oh, but Nightwish sucks.
Hell yeah.
The one thing that I would have to say about the arrangement is that there was no reason that Kirk and James needed to play do-do-do-do-do. I can't sing it while the song's playing, but the doodly part, the good part of the break in this song, the orchestra could have just done that.
Yeah.
And it probably would have been cooler.
Dude, Kirk looks pretty sweet. With his like slick back hair and it's pretty cool. With him soloing like that. The editing of the videos so far, I'd say I'm pretty happy with. You know, I've seen some really terrible editing on live music stuff where the edits is like every 2 seconds. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like it's all over the place, but in a way that doesn't feel manic. It just
and
keeps it interesting.
Like right now, the arrangement of the song is very chaotic and hectic, with a lot of layering and things going on. So like, it makes sense that the editing would follow that, but you can still see everything that's happening. It's great. Do you know how many cameras they used on this? I mean, there's got to be
several,
30 cameras at least, right?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe not 30. That might have been over exaggeration, but a lot. Well, maybe not.
I mean, 30. I could believe 30. There's new shots that show up all the time.
Well, yeah, every section has to have. I would imagine the people who are filming know which song to focus on, you know, kind of which parts where.
The edit of this.
Somebody in the comments knows. Just tell us how many cameras there were. Tell us the name of all the cameramen that were on each one. And what color underwear they were wearing, because somebody out there knows all this.
The vocals sound great, really nice and clear.
They really do. It's such a good, and he nails it the whole time.
I'm done with my pop now, everybody.
There's a new angle
Track
right
one.
there, that wide angle on the mic.
It looks like they're having
Jason
fun.
did do pretty cool background vocals.
He's so cool. And he's got such a weird, ugly face, but in a way that makes him seem like a badass.
Like a mobster.
Can't quite go that far, but his background vocals were fine.
His background vocals were A+, though. It's my favorite thing about it. And James's crowd work is always like super dad. He's so lame. It's really great.
Yes, I love that about James Hetfield.
Okay, I'm pausing at 21:34.
Okay.
34?
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be banter between the songs or anything, so I don't know if we need to like go until the next song's about to start or stop and let it go. We'll stop after the song.
It's never long.
Yeah, well.
Good.
Okay, so we did talk over that a lot. There were parts in there where I was like, ooh, there people are going to be so mad at us. Ooh, boy. But again, remember, everybody, I know these songs. I'm just listening to the arrangements and everything, and we're having fun because this is only the second time I've ever like seen performances of Metallica. So it's really interesting for me to just like see their mannerisms and stuff and watch Lars go.
Plus, a lot of the talk that we're doing is related to the mix and
what we're seeing for sure.
We're not talking about like
Lars is doing a very good job sitting down.
Yeah,
he was standing a lot during.
He's not standing very much.
During the intro, he was during the intro a lot, but yeah, I don't know. I just we talked about it a little bit in there, and then I just started thinking about like I don't know. I'm learning a little bit about the guys in the band's personalities and stuff, just like through a few things we've seen. And Lars to me seems like a very like controlling person, and especially when it comes to like the band and everything they do. With the few things that I've watched of them, most specifically with like because at this point for everybody watching, I have not seen any of the documentaries about them making any of their albums. With the exception of a little bit of the stuff for 72 Seasons. Because I did watch a couple of their videos about like them with that album and touring and stuff with that. So I did see a little bit of that. And I know that they're quite different people now in 2023, 2024 than they were back in obviously like 2000 and even back to like, late 80s. But the idea that they would give so many people control over their music and have new arrangements and things made is kind of interesting to me, that like that wouldn't like freak them out.
I mean, as long as they were there to control it, like that, they're part of the writing process.
Yeah, but I just imagine like I've heard about them like art, like especially with Justice, right? Like them everyone in the band saying that their instrument should be turned up loud enough that eventually the bass became nothing. Like they all wanted their instrument to be turned up louder and louder and louder and louder. With that kind of a mindset to go into something like this, where you have to give up control over how much of your signal is being present in the mix, how much you matter in a crowd of 100 musicians. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm. They made a lot of money between Justice and when we're watching this film.
Yes,
right. And so you think that has something to do with it?
They made all of their money actually between Justice and when this was shot.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm sure they learned a lot over the 90s, because that's the time period we're talking about.
Well, and it's proven in their two best records, Load and Reload.
I mean, I don't have any problem with what you're saying, but I imagine you're saying that in a somewhat facetious or sarcastic way.
I'm saying that in an unbelievably facetious and sarcastic way.
I will say that this, I don't remember where I read it, but this entire concept for S&M came about when they put orchestral bits on Nothing Else Matters in the Black Album. And they're like,
I can totally see that.
We did like a whole thing like that. And then 10 years later, it happened.
Were they inspired by any other bands doing this? Like, were there other metal bands up to this point that had done something to this scale?
I feel like no. I'm sure that has happened, but it's so frustrating how many people, when this was more relevant, were like talked about how like this is the least metal thing that Metallica's ever done. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, I don't understand, but everybody was really excited to hate Metallica in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So.
This might have been one of the things that sort of introduced me to Metallica. Is that possible? It is.
I believe it.
I think it is.
I think so.
I mean,
that would have been that right. I was in 7th or 8th grade or whatever when this happened.
99. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I had just like right around this time, like Reload was my first Metallica album, and then a guy I knew who lived upstairs from my dad was like, "That's not Metallica," and then he gave me a Justice for All, and I was like, "This is stupid." And then I listened to it more. I was like, man, this is really good. I was like, fine, you're right. This is so good.
And I've said to me, like, the first Metallica song I remember like paying attention to was "I Disappear," which I think would have been
the first video that I remember liking.
I think that was recorded between Reload and Saint Anger, right? So that was
for sure.
That was the most.
Jason's still in the video.
Yeah, so that was the most recent studio release song to this that we're listening to right now. And I remember enjoying that song and that music video a lot, but I didn't know or care enough about Metallica to look into them any further. And I think at that point I knew Enter Sandman, and I probably knew a couple of the other songs just tangentially, but not like enough to like know that it was even Metallica that did them.
Right.
And I definitely knew Enter Sandman because that was the Sandman's entrance song in ECW in the late 90s. Yeah, I don't know. It's I just, to me, the idea that from what I know of Metallica and their like egos and things, especially coming up on their next album, the idea that they would do something like this and have it turn out as good as it is, just from me hearing two songs, I'm shocked that it sounds this good. Like, I really am. And the fact that it's live too, because in Chris Schoenberg, we talked about this in college a lot too. Like, one of our professors, Mr. Beardsley, would talk about how, and I remember at the recording studio in Omaha, I used to work at Cleat, he would talk about a lot as well, how fake live performances are when you see them on like DVD and stuff. Like after the fact, a lot of things are like fixed to the point where it's not even the same performance anymore in terms of timing and stuff. And then also effects, EQing and all those types of things to make it sound as good as possible, of course. But then also, like in a lot of cases, the Cleat would tell me that they would re-record parts to make them just better performances for live releases. So it was played live in the studio after the fact, watching the video back or whatever. But like, and I don't know whether that's true or not. And I'm sure he would have been in a situation to know that some of that probably was true to a certain extent during a certain period of time. But I mean, this just seems fantastic from everything I've heard and seen just over the last two songs.
I imagine being at this show, it sounded incredible. I mean, I have not. I've seen Metallica live twice, and both times they sounded fantastic.
What I haven't been paying attention to so far is the miking on the symphony. So that's what I'm going to look at on next. Like, because there's different ways to mic a symphony. And Cleat always used to talk about how he hated. Cleat was the name of my old boss at the recording studio I used to work with, for those of you wondering.
I just saw Cleat today.
Didn't you really?
So, yes.
I didn't even know if he was still alive.
He's still alive. I didn't really talk to him. I just kind of like shook his hand and said Merry Christmas, but...
That's awesome. I really need to talk to him. We can maybe have a pizza at Mama's sometime if I can get him at a time when he's free. But anyway,
he's retired.
Right.
He's always free.
Well, it has to work out with my schedule when I happen to be downtown, Yeah. But which will be a lot. He can come visit me at my house in Omaha. We'll have a lot of time there.
He might.
Yeah, he probably would. But Cleat used to say that he hated close mic'd orchestra anything.
Of course he did.
Which of course you would. You should, because it would sound like crap. You should never put a microphone close to anything being performed live like that.
I appreciate
by close
you
mic
that take.
And by close mic, I mean like if there's a trombone, don't clip the microphone on the end of it. I'm explaining it to the people, Chris.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What I mean by that is like
to me what close mic.
No, So when I say close mic, I mean like if there's a trombone section of 7 trombones, you clip a microphone on the horn of every single one of those 7 trombones. And then when you mix the thing, there's just like ungodly amount of tracks. Every single instrument in the orchestra has a track. I can't even imagine the nightmare that would be. Instead of approaching the recording that way, that's one way to do it, mic everything, right? Of course, then you have the control over every single thing, every aspect of it. The other way to mic it is to mic sections. If you have a quiet performance, you couldn't do something like that with this because you have Lars sitting in the middle of the orchestra. So you probably have to close mic things to a certain degree, but like maybe you put a microphone on, maybe you separate the 7 trombones into a group of 4, group of 3, put a microphone on each of those.
Maybe all the orchestral instruments have pickups.
Well, that's what I was just
They probably
saying.
just replaced it all with MIDI and post anyway.
It definitely sounds better than that for what was available at the time. But yes, that's what Cleet was implying. That's what Cleet was implying. Boy, this is going to be a nightmare to edit this part.
You're the one that can.
Anyway, son of a gun. Anyway,
play again.
I'm excited to look at where the microphones are in relation to the position of the instruments in this orchestra. So let's listen to it so we can see that. I don't care what song's next. Don't tell me what it is, because I want to guess. Because again, I'm thinking I'm not going to know most of this song. All right, so
there are 4 digital editors listed in the crew for this.
Shout out to those guys. They did a fantastic job. It sounds really great. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm at 21:34 in 3, 2, 1.
It makes it a lot easier that we can see your video as well. So
yeah, that's good.
Auto sync.
Yeah, I'm glad that works out.
Like it.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
So did you hear the one?
Yep.
Hear the one about the rock band who wanted to play with the symphony? This is no joke, friends. We're having some fun.
He just confirmed.
And we want y'all to have some fun out there because
they're not
Papa
metal.
James.
They're not metal. He said rock band.
This one is usually.
Hey, it was 1999. They hadn't been a metal band for a long time.
I could argue that they never were a metal band.
I don't get it.
It's not true.
What's that green image behind him? That's interesting.
Green.
Shut up. If anyone thinks that he had any control over the start of that song, you are delusional. There was a click and a person in all of their headphones telling them when to go.
Metallica can't play to a click. There's no click.
Shut up. There is no way.
I don't
Okay, this is
understand
of Wolf. This is Back to the Meaning. This is of Wolf and Man. Is that what this is?
I really like this version of this song a lot, especially with Jason's background vocals.
What a strange song for them to pick to do with this. I love it. Mm-hmm. You know, why would they go to the werewolf song after Master of Puppets? You know what I mean? Ooh, little closed hi-hat there. Lars didn't know he could do that. Okay, so the violins look like they're all...
They all got pickups on them.
They all have pickups on
under the bridge.
They do. They all have mic. All the violins, stringed instruments are mic'd.
Oh, but you know what? They probably at least made a stereo recording for reference to get the panic, right?
Yes, probably. Life.
That's all the orchestra seems a little left heavy.
Well, that's because the most important part of the orchestra is on the left side.
Okay.
Also, the guitars are in the same...
How pissed was James about that? How pissed was he when he figured out that the violins were on his side of the spectrum?
I'm sure a lot. But if you think about it, Chris, the frequency range of the bass, the basses, and the cellos, and some of the lower brass instruments are the same exact frequency range where the electric guitars sit, and of course the bass. So the right side of the orchestra is those frequencies for the most part. So that's why you're hearing less of that, because that's what the guitars are doing.
That makes a lot of sense actually for the mix, because Kirk's going to be up high most of the time anyway.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And so he's being balanced on the left by the violins and the viola.
Here you go. Maybe it was meant to be.
Oh, I'm just gonna close my eyes and listen for a while.
Okay.
Trumpets, nice. You know what this reminds me of? That sweet. It started out as Led Zeppelin, and then I think Sean P. Diddy Combs took and perfected it. Come with me.
From the 1998 Godzilla movie, by
Correct.
the way. To
Which
bring it back to where we were.
I tried to talk about that earlier, and you guys shut me off. So I knew it was going to come up, but whatever. You ruined my inside joke.
Lucky you.
But anyway, it kind of does remind me of that a little bit, were those elements in the original Led Zeppelin song?
No.
Do they have strings in the original Led Zeppelin song? I like the nose camera there. Oh, that was cool with the
climbing vocal from Jason.
With the guitar slide. Got a lot of French horns in there. You're right, his vocals are cleaner. Not that they were ever like too harsh, but certainly harsher than this. Uh-oh. Okay, I paused it at 26:34.
I thought we were just going to let it go. Let's just let it go.
I know. That's what I wanted to do, but people were like, please stop between the songs and talk.
You thought we were going to not talk during the songs?
My original idea was to have us sit here and watch the whole concert in one video and not pause it ever. You know what I mean?
Well, get to talking, I guess, if we're going to be paused.
Okay, so the selection of that song is I want to talk about. So you're Metallica. At this point, you have, let's see if I can get them right. You have Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, the Black Album, Load and Reload.
Yep.
You start the concert off with this epic instrumental song, and then you go into arguably, maybe at that point, not the most famous song they had up to that point, of course, with Enter Sandman and Sad But True, but one of the most famous songs of theirs, and definitely a song that they are associated with Master of Puppets. Mm-hmm. Then you do Of Wolf and Man. What a shocking decision for them to do that.
In general or in that order?
Both. First of all, I'm assuming that there's, I don't know how many songs are on this, but I would imagine at the most there's like 16, 15 maybe.
21.
So 21?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's say 20 songs, and I just named all their albums, right? So you have all of the songs on all of those albums to choose from, and you're only going to do this once. This is a special thing. You're going to take the time to take the songs that you choose to do this with, come up with new arrangements, add a 70-piece orchestra there to the song, and they chose Of Wolf and Man to do.
I like that song.
I like it too, but I'm just saying that's weird.
It's hitting.
No, I'm just saying.
Weird. I'm
just saying it's weird. Like I think that was awesome. Like that worked with the arrangement of the orchestra. So I'm not questioning whether that was a good or bad decision. I'm just saying like I'm curious to see what all the rest of the songs we're going to get. Like I would assume we're going to hear every song you would assume you're going to hear. You're going to hear every mid-tempo to down-tempo song that they have done up to this point in their career.
Thus of Wolf and Man.
Yes, but there's also like 3 or 4 other songs with identical tempo and same feeling on that same album. So like you can't do this and then Sad But True and then what's that da 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 na 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 that one, whichever one that one is, and then
oh yeah,
you know, like there's like 3 or 4 songs on Black Album that you wouldn't want to do with this one because it's like basically the same thing. So like. But okay, so that's interesting to me. I like that they did that, but I'm just saying that's a really interesting decision on their part to do the song. Then to think about doing it like essentially the second real song in the set. Like I kind of think of that first thing as kind of like an intro. It's an epic intro, and it is one of their songs, but it's instrumental, and So Master of Puppets, if I'm thinking of that as like the real first song, then the second song is Of Wolf and Man. It's just so interesting to me that they would choose to do that right away at the beginning of the set. Now, Master of Puppets is a faster song, so I imagine afterwards they wanted to do a more mid-tempo, slower song. And I don't know if in terms of what the orchestra, because I don't know if an orchestra you can't do like 5 fast songs with an orchestra in a row. The players couldn't do it. They'd leave, the union would crawl all Metallica's ass. So like you have to structure the concert in such a way that the musicians in the orchestra can actually perform the songs and would agree to do so. And that would all be the job of the people that run the orchestra, not the musicians or anything themselves. But like really interesting. I can't. I'll talk about this more as we go on, but like the ordering of the songs, I think is going to be really interesting. I would be really surprised if we got 2 fast songs in a row. I don't think we will. And I don't think a majority of the concert itself is going to be fast at all. I think Master of Puppets may even be the fastest thing we get. Like, I would be shocked if we got like Whiplash or Battery. I don't know if we'll do that one, although I know a lot of people like that song a lot. Mm-hmm. And Battery, that's one that starts out with acoustic guitar, right? Yeah, so that song would be cool with the orchestra. So I don't know if we're gonna get that or not. And then what's the first song on Ride the Lightning?
Fight Fire with Fire.
Yes. So I don't think we're gonna get that one. Although that song also starts with acoustic guitar. And I don't know if they did acoustic guitar, they would probably have to have which they would have to for like Nothing Else Matters. But
it's so funny how this is something you do every time, but like this thing where you sit and you deliberate and wonder what's going to happen. You wonder, like there's no way of finding out. And it's like, if you just hit play, you'll get the answers you see.
Well, I know that, but I mean, to me, that's like the fun part of this. Like,
I know.
You know, like, I mean, it's the like, people can watch and be like, oh, he's wrong or he's right, or I can't wait to see, you know? I'm building up the tension, Chris.
And I have that. I sit here and think about the things that you've said and be like, oh, well, we'll see. You know.
So sort of related, actually unbelievably related, not related, the same thing about classically trained musicians being giant weenies.
Yeah.
So I was working with this band director that's directed the bands for a few musicals that I've been part of, and she works at the school that I work at. And there was a discussion about doing a certain musical, and more specifically, was it what?
Was it Wicked?
No, I don't think that was even part of this conversation.
Anyway, sorry, I'm just.
Anyway, I don't know how musicals work. I don't know how that culture works, but like she has to hire people to play in her band for these musicals, and we were discussing possibly doing this like a kind of dance music-y version of a musical, and it just had dance beats, kind of stuff, stuff.
Hell yeah.
And when we were listening to the music, we were mostly just having a laugh, but we stopped the playback, and she said, I don't think that my players could do that for 90 minutes or whatever. And inside, I'm like, dude, you need to listen to some death metal where people actually work while they're playing instead of like you play a kick drum and then you go have a coffee break and then come back and hit the stupid thing again. Like, good Lord.
It is really interesting. And, yeah, well, we'll talk about what the very little bit that I know about classical music and orchestral culture and stuff in between one of the next songs. So I'm going to listen to the next one. You guys ready to move on?
Let's listen to 2.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do. Are there any 2 that connect nicely? Like where that would make sense for us to do that too?
I think they're all gonna kinda.
Okay. All right. So. Well, I'm at 26:34. And I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1.
What do you think it's gonna be?
It's badass.
The note already told you what song it was gonna be.
That note.
The guitar note, yeah.
Dum dum.
I guess it's 2 notes.
Pink Panther.
Yes,
Yep.
It's the Pink Panther.
Nailed it.
It might be the same 2 first notes though.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's what he's playing right now.
No, it's not.
Still don't know what it is.
It's not my favorite song from this album.
I like this one too. I do like mid-tempo Metallica, I guess.
Escape. Is it Escape, Metallica's
It is
best
not
song?
Escape. They don't have a song called Escape. You made it up.
No, they. Okay. All right. Okay, but what is this song then?
Spit out the bone.
Oh, I don't.
The thing that should not be.
Spit out the phone. I was like, that was on an album like 10 years after this, Chris. What are you talking about? I'm glad I got it. Okay, so this is The Thing That Shall Not Be. I don't remember this one, but that's okay.
The Thing That
Should not be.
Is this Ride? Ride the Lightning? Off of that album.
Black Album, right?
Not Black Album, or I would know it.
Oh, it is off of
I don't know. The thing I think I like the least about the song is just like it doesn't have any flow. It's like all chorus over and over again. Just every
this
piece
is
of
track
it
3 on
sounds
Master
like
of
chorus.
Puppets. Okay.
Yeah. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. Because I love the sinister vibe of it, though. It's really the darkness is really great.
I remember this chorus.
Love the delay they got on it. So good.
Dude, what a badass.
Yeah. See? I'm telling you.
Yes.
He is, man.
Is that Lars's normal kit, do you think? Or do you think they had anything extra for this?
Apparently that kit is currently in a guitar center in San Francisco somewhere.
That's cool. Well, this was this was the height of what Chris was talking about. How it sounds like every verse and chorus were starting in the middle. Remember? This is when they were doing that. So I think that's what you mean, Chris, when you say like there's really no beginning and end to the parts or whatever, or it doesn't feel definitive.
Who let Lars wear a white shirt? I just am still not.
He's got to dress up. It's the orchestra.
Could have had a collar, a white T-shirt.
Those wedding bell things are awesome.
He's got his sleeves pushed up. His sleeve.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, the strings are great there. Those bells that were happening during the verse there was awesome.
I love that guy in the front with the tuxedo shirt. He's so funny.
I think one of the things I have determined after listening to all of Metallica's catalog now, I don't like Kirk Hammett's guitar playing. His solos are boring.
Solos are always boring.
No, they can be cool.
Also, kind of agree.
Godsmack?
Boring.
Yes, but they invented the wah.
That's right, yeah.
This is way better than the album version. Like, this is epic.
I agree. I like this version.
This whole song feels like another song's bridge.
It's such a weird structure.
It is weird.
It is a weird structure.
It's like build. Like it's the whole thing is just that.
It's this constant like.
Yeah, it is. It's a sawtooth wave. The snot camera again.
Man, he really kills it on vocals in this album. I can't get over it.
It sounds phenomenal. Do you think they did any fixing to it post?
Nah. I refuse to believe it, even if they did. I won't hear it.
You may be the guy that edited this. I'll jump in our comments and yell at us that autotune wasn't invented yet. Pretty sure it was at this point. Yeah, because this is after Cher, so.
True. Oh, he's standing.
Yeah.
He's doing a boogie.
We got to get a camera on standing up.
Thank you.
That's the end of the song. Now let's go into the next one.
Yep.
All right, what are we going to get? Ooh. You can hear the resin on the bow with the camera so close. Look at her. She's like, yeah, I'm in a metal band. All these musicians for this day felt the coolest they felt their entire lives. Easily. All their kids went to the concert. Some of them
possibly annoyed.
I'm sure a lot of them.
Some of them were.
Yes.
But then they saw how much they were getting paid. And like,
they probably had several ambulances on standby to, like, in case there were any accidents because the metal kids were coming to the symphony concert. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure. Did he have a slide on his finger there? No. Oh, we're doing the national anthem? Or no, what is that? Dun 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 dun. That's not the national anthem. That's something else. They should do a classical song. They should do like Bach or Mozart or something. That's what Epica did.
They did Actual Sea of Gold. What do you think it is?
Oh, he does have a slide on. Ha! Fuel. A song that I love.
It's a good song.
It's a good album. Damn good album, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's considerably worse after this song.
Large sections of it do. We got a comment, Chris Parker, on one of our reactions to Load and Reload the other day, and it was like, I love your idea of taking the best songs of Load and Reload and making them into a thing called like Reloaded or whatever.
Yeah.
And man, I wish they would just do that officially and be like, forget these other songs. And then I could be like, definitively best Metallica album.
They probably released this song as a single.
Fuel is pumping engines. Dude, the brass is on fire in this song. There's some sort of a low brass instrument going ham here.
Contrabasson. I mean, Lars kills this entire set. Like, people complain about him being not good.
That's maybe one of the more surprising things, isn't it?
I mean, depends on who you ask, but I think he's like, this whole album is flawless from him.
I'm probably going to listen to this a lot.
You should.
I'd probably throw this on before a lot of their albums, actually. Are we going to include this in our list of favorites when we do our ranking of their albums?
Mark it down in your calendar. This year, 2024, Patrick put a live album in his list of favorites.
I just asked if we could or not. Okay, that's a sample of Hey that they threw in there. Like, that was some interesting. Godsmack's back.
You know why only 6 people watch the Halloween episodes of this? Because everybody actually hates you.
Hey, I'm happy to run with that gimmick. I'd make a much better heel than Babyface. Everyone knows
They
this.
got a bunch of shields up in front of the orchestra section. I guess I've been seeing those the whole time, but I just never really thought about
it's
to
to prevent
the mics, you know, to try to keep the drums out of them.
Yes, it's to prevent that, and also drum like splinters flying and stuff too.
He's not chopping down a tree.
Oh, dude, When you play the drums, splinters fly.
I know, but I don't think that many.
No, a lot. I love those background vocals from Jason there. Mm-hmm. That should bet in the song. You know what we're hearing?
Metallica.
Are we stopping?
Oh, yeah, let's stop before we get to the marimba or the xylophone there. What we're hearing is earlier in the day when they were doing dress rehearsal, that's when we're hearing everything was recorded. All the orchestra parts you're hearing, that was all recorded earlier.
Why?
Because that's how they do stuff like this. That's how they do live performances.
What makes you say that?
I didn't see anything. I don't think that's what's actually happening, but I know for a lot of stuff like just for an example of this, and this is a totally different scenario, so not like this, but we were just watching earlier, for Thanksgiving, we were watching the Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade, and there was a performance from one of the artists. Now everyone knows that kind of stuff is fake because you ain't gonna be walking down the street singing a song with a brass band behind you. You're not hearing any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But what they do is they earlier on in the day or during dress rehearsals, they actually record the song. And then that's what you're hearing when you're seeing the performance. You're seeing a live performance of them when it was a controlled environment in that area. And so I'm not saying that's what happened with this. However, when they were doing dress rehearsals the day before, the orchestra had to do rehearsals for this at least twice before they did this concert.
They had to do it for a week, not for the orchestra, but for Metallica. There's no way they didn't do this for a week.
Well, but the orchestra learned it before Metallica got there. Like the orchestra knew this whole thing before Metallica got there. So like they could have recorded at any of those sessions. They could have recorded any of the orchestral parts. And then that's what we could be hearing. Because the thing is with this kind of a video, there's no way you could visually like tell if what we're hearing is what they're actually playing. Obviously, that's how it is with most stuff.
I think you could. But depending on the shot.
For sure. However, we're dealing with classical musicians here. So the goal for them is to play it identical every single time to the note, to the volume of the velocity of the note, the transient of the note. Every aspect of what they're doing is supposed to be as identical as possible to what they're supposed to do. There's not supposed to be any deviation whatsoever. That's literally their job as classical musicians. And so it would be much easier to fake this than it would be to fake Metallica performing a song because they have leniency and they can, react to things in real time and change the tempo, if they want by looking at each other and stuff. Obviously, you can't do that with an orchestra because everyone doesn't have line of sight and stuff like that. But like the whole point of a classical musician and a classical piece being performed is to do it as close as humanly possible to what's the instructions that were written on the music. And then it's the interpretation of the conductor to bring that out, right? And so they could absolutely have theoretically recorded the entire orchestral part of this during a dress rehearsal before this, and that's the orchestra we're hearing.
I mean,
I'm just saying
really
it's possible.
Take anything away from it, I suppose.
To me, it would, but I don't think that we're probably hearing what they're playing. I would say I'm probably like, there's like maybe like a 20% chance we're not hearing what we're seeing from the orchestra, but I'm pretty sure we are. Like, do you agree with that, Chris Schoenberg? Like,
I mean, yeah, it would be an easy thing to do. I don't know. On this, I just don't care. I don't think that it's interesting.
I agree with you because this is
sometimes I really do think that topic is interesting, but on this, I just could not care less.
Right, and I think the reason for that is because this is a one-time thing. This is a special way we're getting to hear these songs again as just like a one-time thing. So like we know there is not going to be a studio version of this ever. So we know this is as good as this is ever going to sound. And the fact that it does sound so good, whether consciously or subconsciously, we don't care if there was any futzing to this to make it real, you know? So we're just happy that it sounds as good as it does, which I'm incredibly happy this sounds as good as it does. I think it sounds phenomenal. But like I said, I just wanted to point out there definitely could be very easy ways that they faked all this. But obviously those musicians are there, and obviously they're performing they're performing the music. Whether or not the exact thing we're hearing is what they were performing at the exact same time James was, that the Metallica is playing, I could question a little bit, but obviously we're hearing what Metallica's doing. However, you can edit the timing of any instrument with a live video because all you have to do is edit a different scene. You know, don't show Lars when you're editing Lars drums. You know what I mean?
And so that's what I've seen happen a lot when they do, they record two, you know, they got a 2-night show and they'll record them both and then they, you know, cut in between different bits of footage from different performances just so they can make it look exactly the way they want.
Well, I've seen live performance DVDs do that too when the band members were wearing different shirts, which is stupid. But however, I don't even mean that. I mean like the guy sitting down and he has 1,000 tracks to edit. So and you just solo Lars is, and it's not timed perfectly. So you make a note at, you know, whatever timestamp, don't show Lars here because I am going to go into the edit and I'm going to move his kick and his snare to the correct time. You know what I mean? That's totally possible. That is completely doable here. Because you were talking about how you think Lars performs flawlessly. Lars is known for not performing flawlessly. So, I'm not
really
saying
don't think that's a statement that you can make.
But I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying
situations.
it's not possible that he didn't do this. Like, I'm definitely saying he could have performed this whole thing perfectly, and we were hearing exactly what he heard. But the thing is, every live performance like this is tweaked. It's fixed a little bit. It's just what happens with professional releases. It's what happens.
It's one of the benefits of doing a recording of a
exactly. Otherwise, why would you bother with
changes?
It? Exactly, 100%. And so, you know, I don't know. I just find that kind of stuff interesting because I think the average person doesn't even know that stuff like that is possible, that you could change things around like that. You know, sure. And you can pitch shift notes too, you know, you could absolutely, even at this time, because we're talking about 2000, 1998, 1999, 2000, Chris Schoenberg and I got into the audio industry in the year 2005. And the equipment that I still use, and to this day, to make music and edit podcasts and stuff, is the equipment that I got in fall of 2005. So, you know, when I think about what's possible for me to do, and what's possible for them to do would be probably the advanced technology 5 years before what it got to me. So we're talking, you know, I don't know. Hopefully people kind of understand what I was saying there. But like the technology was definitely possible at this time to do all the stuff we're talking about, and probably several years before that too. I don't know.
I believe you call this part of the section, Patrick, of your monologue here, hate comment baiting.
But I'm not. I'm just letting people know.
Well,
no. When I'm baiting people is when I say stuff about Godsmack or the fact that
you're gonna hear about it.
Nah. People don't care. They understand. They are going to get so mad at us.
YouTube comment sections are known for their love.
If there's anything that strangers on the internet do, it's understand.
You guys are way overthinking it. No one's going to even get past the first song. They're going to yell at us for talking over it so much that they won't even get to they'll listen to it and they'll watch it.
Won't be.
A lot of people will, but the people who comment are going to be like, these guys couldn't shut up for 1 second. How dare you talk about the guitar when you didn't even hear a single note of it? How could you when your mouth is open constantly, your ears are shut?
You sound just like Graham doing that character.
Don't say that.
Patrick, you basically are Graham.
Don't say that.
We should have Graham come on the show sometime.
What an interesting ordeal that would be.
I've thought about
that.
And
we just review his music.
No, I was going to say, because I've thought about that, but then I thought, what do I want to have ruined for life for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when we were in college.
Brother, you are talking the truth.
When we were in college, I gave him a disc of one of my favorite albums that came out that year, and he
what
took
a mistake you made.
He took it, and he bent it in half and broke it and threw it into the trash can. And while I was there, and he would do that with anything we would listen to. Like if I was like, "Hey, listen to this," whatever. We don't need a trash gram. He's a good friend, and he's the only person that's kept up with me this whole year, asking me how I've been doing. So I appreciate that. And he has a lovely family there. He's great. His family, not his extended family.
Right.
They're great too, but I don't know them that much. Whatever. His dad's great.
They're not going to watch this. Huh? You don't need to clear this up. Grandpa's never going to watch this video.
No, not they won't watch this one, but to be, I mean, I don't know. I have talked
They would not be caught dead putting both of their eyes on anything Metallica related on purpose.
I have talked about
hours.
them before on the channel, like because they do make really awesome music. So I mean, it's like
they do.
Dude, that would be funny though if we just did Graham music and made Graham listen to us live review him.
Yeah,
I wanted to do that with Ryan and Sarah.
That's not even funny, actually.
That's just mean.
Because it would destroy them beyond repair.
No, he'd just argue with us. But the thing is, I don't mind their music. I like it, and I do think it sounds better since they stopped using me as their producer. So, so I'm not going to fault them there. But anyway, okay. Let's move on from all this inside stuff that no one knows who we're talking about. What?
They sound better after.
Do you think
after they stopped using Patrick, they sounded better? That is incredible.
Well, but because what Ryan was going for the whole time was something that I didn't have the capability of doing.
What's your timestamp, brah?
My timestamp, brah, is 38:41, and I'm looking at the sweet xylophone player, the bell player. And I'm ready for him to just go ham right now.
Hey, Chris Parker, in case you need to look it up, comma and period are like the frame by frame forward and backward.
Oh, no, I'm good. We're good.
Really?
Okay.
Comma and period?
Yeah, when you're paused. But you don't do it because you just told us when you were.
Well, I know that, but I just didn't. I've wondered that for so many years using YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And I never. Because on your phone, you just click and you can go 10 seconds one way or the other, but I didn't know how to do it on
Right, but this is
desktop.
frame by frame.
Right.
You can go frame by frame.
Right. Okay. 38:41 in 3, 2, 1. Go ham, dude. He's getting ready to.
Oh, I felt pretty good.
Never mind.
Really, we've never really played like dressed up.
Look at that harp player in the back. She's badass.
I thought,
wait, is it a guy?
Harps are crazy.
Something magical would happen.
It's a harp player? What a loser.
Or way worse, but,
Nah, it's the lady. It's the lady with the poofy hair.
Oh, okay.
Nope, it's not. She's sitting in front.
Getting our good clothes all sweaty, you know?
Yeah, their clothes are sweaty. Kirk was sweating in the first song.
Proud, you know?
They were all sweating in the first song.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Now, we got some people out there that I know like to let loose a little more than others. Just kind of show them what's up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fast song?
We like it when you sing, man.
Oh, slow song.
Fortune, fame, mirror, fame, gone insane, but
There he is. There's my guy.
Please tell me they bring the old lady out on stage to go la da 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 la la la. That would be so epic. They wheel her out in a wheelchair.
They've got an entire crowd to do that for them. They don't need her.
That's true. If they do that, that could be really sweet. Which now that you've said that is probably what they do, and I'm excited to hear it. Or if James tried to do it, that'd be hilarious. La, da, da, da. I hate that part of this song. I actually don't like this song as much because of that. That's in this song, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I get this song mixed up with King Nothing.
Interesting. I think
Yeah.
Nothing's a better song.
Yeah, this is when we get into the blues
One of the
solos.
things I actually like about this, I like about how much, whatever, reverb, ambiance, whatever you want to call it, is on the guitars, but especially when Kirk plays leads.
Okay. Yep.
I don't need those in my face.
Yeah.
I like them off and in the background and over here.
Okay.
I like it.
Insane in the membrane. There you go. So now they have to get really quiet so we can hear the crowd. Well, they do it at the end of the song, right? That's how the song ends.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. It'd be like that baby metal
Kirk
song.
Really is just like down. Like you can hear him, but he's not carrying the place.
But man, when those rhythm guitars come in, it's just awesome. Right? Big, chunky feeling. I want them to play some of their earlier songs so that, you know, I guess they did play Thing That Must Not Be. Do you think any of the guys in Metallica have ever seen this footage back?
Yes.
You think they watched it? And the only reason I asked that is because I was watching something the other day and a musician was talking about how they've never listened back to any one of their albums or anything they've ever... And I'm like, man, I don't...
Happens a lot. It's weird.
It makes people uncomfortable. Like, you got to, in some cases, to remember what the hell you did.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Did he turn around to the... Oh, the conductor should turn around and conduct the orchestra, or the people. Maybe he'll do that at the end.
He's busy.
Well, I know, but once the music is done and it's just the crowd. That's pretty common. Oh, nope. Now it sounds like a Christmas song.
Yeah, that was a little bit excessive in the high frequency, isn't it?
I can't get over how the conductor looks like Alfonso Cuarón. It just makes me hate him.
Why? Alfonso Cuarón is incredible.
He's the worst director that's ever been.
You're mad because he made a good Harry Potter movie.
Incorrect. He made the worst Harry Potter movie.
Incorrect.
I have not
seen one that wasn't for 6-year-olds.
I have not seen what's one you like so much where Sandra Bullock floats in space?
Gravity?
Yeah, that one. I haven't seen that one, so I can't comment on that.
Sensational movie.
And
Children of Men.
I just know he liked like little children having sex a lot, and then he ruined Harry Potter. So like that's
an
his
interesting
career.
thing for you to say about him.
Yeah, that's his career as far as I understand it.
Yep, good.
Is this the same song? Or did
This is the new song.
New song? Okay, well, we'll keep going.
We've already started it.
We'll keep going.
This song
is like kind of the one for me off this record.
In a bad way?
No, in a good way.
Okay.
Song.
Yeah, this is one of the
I have a lot of nostalgia.
S&M exclusive songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Pretty sure. Oh no, it's Aerosmith. Yes.
See what you're saying.
The Eminem, and then Eminem
like
covered it.
Dream On a little bit.
If you only had one shot, one chance, would you throw up on your mom's spaghetti or whatever that song is?
You just cannot stand that anybody likes anything. That's the thing that you do.
No, I just like pretending that I like things everybody else hates. It's great.
No,
Okay.
you do like things
Hold on.
everybody else hates.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's the
true.
hating.
But I want to hear this. So.
Also, this is the prime example.
Starting right in the middle of a song.
Yep.
Yes.
What feels right all the time? What? That is weird.
This is chorus material. The beginning of the song.
This is not No Leaf Clover, is it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll see if I notice any part of it or recognize any of it. What was that? Okay, so this was obviously done post.
Right. He doesn't actually
Probably
have
the
two
music
heads.
video for this song.
Yeah. Totally. Makes sense.
I don't remember.
This was re-recorded, the vocals.
I think all the vocals on this song, we're not hearing the live vocals.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't, right?
Yeah, that
I don't
didn't sound
think
like,
so.
yeah. It sounded like it before.
It did.
Maybe it transitioned into like the single version or whatever.
That's interesting. I never considered that.
Yeah, the strings are gone too from the mix. Now they're back. This does sound kind of familiar, I will say. The freight train coming part.
It was unbelievably popular for a while.
But I wasn't listening to the radio at the time. I mean, I guess I was.
You love the radio.
Yeah, but I just listened to like Linkin Park and POD and stuff, not this kind of junk. This would have been like with AC/DC on like classic rock or some crap.
Cool underground stuff like Linkin Park.
Dude, Linkin Park Underground is literally what they call their whole fan base. Good job. I'm glad you're such a fan and you know the underground stuff about them. Yeah, that solo is... This is not what he's playing.
The guitar tone's not the same as it has been the whole rest of the thing.
Nope, completely different.
This is really interesting, actually. I didn't ever notice.
It's subtle. They did it really well, but it's not the same.
The strings, I'm sure, are the same strings that were recorded at the same time of what we're hearing.
It said that in the wiki. It said something like... Let's see. An Old Leaf Clover has been performed in concert... Oh, never mind. I read that 5 times and apparently I never got it right. Never mind.
Oh, there was a video edit there, a stutter. You see that?
I didn't actually.
It could have been something screwed up on my end.
They were doing weird stuff to James's face at the beginning of it, right?
I didn't notice
Was
that.
it just that? Yeah.
Really? I thought that's what you were talking about when you complained about.
That's what I thought too.
What the?
When he had 2 heads.
I didn't know, huh?
Wow.
They're not showing Lars at all. Because I bet he's playing something completely different than what he's actually playing. Dude, they all look so young. It's weird.
It's because they were.
Yeah, but it's not that long ago. I mean, I guess it is, but...
Almost 25 years ago? No, at least 25 years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Miserable number.
That was a brand new one for y'all. Entitled No Leaf Clover, man. Righteous.
Righteous, dude. That's awesome.
Pause or no?
Yes, let's pause. While Lars is doing something. Okay, so that's my first time hearing. Okay, the freight train coming part sounded a little familiar to me, so I must have heard that somewhere. But I don't remember ever seeing that like on MTV or in a music video or anything. So I probably would have just turned it off, I guess, or something if it was on. I'm sure it was played all the time. Yeah, I would say overall that song was not as familiar to me. So, I liked it. I think it was good. I think it did sound very similar to the previous song, like when which I mean, some of their songs from Load and Reload do sound kind of samey-ish, or that you could lift parts out and put them over. Because
I think they're all written at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Yeah, and but I specifically thought to myself, I'll bet you could take that la da 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 la what part and put it over the section where they were doing Kirk's solo in that song. I bet it would fit perfectly, like with the chord progression or whatever. But doesn't really matter. That's not neither here nor there. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that that's like super impressive song to me or anything. Very jarring, the production stuff, mainly when they did that crazy thing with James' vocals. Because you can tell obviously that like the crowd noise, literally everything goes away. Like they're not trying to hide the fact that was some trickery. Whether it was, I'm pretty sure it was just a whole separate take that they recorded later in the studio. I'm sure.
I thought it was super weird, the idea that they would, because I feel like the live performance would happen first, and then they would take that and use it to make the song instead of having that already pre-recorded and putting it into the DVD. Like, I think that's really backwards.
No, I think they did do it that way, but they did it in between when they released the DVD. So like, you're right. They did perform the song there. And the fact that they weren't showing them performing lots of it, I almost wonder if some of the lyrics were changed, or if like Lars' part, they never showed Lars drumming in that song at all. Whenever they did, it was just him doing like one hit at the end of a phrase, because he's always ending the same, obviously. But when they did show him a couple times, like I noticed he hit the snare drum once and then hit the snare, but he actually did like a flam or something in the song. So like, I'm thinking that his drum track that whole time was a completely different take, and that whether it was recorded live or later in the studio, I don't think it was recorded, because it sounded very similar to the way the drums have sounded the whole time. So I'm thinking that it was probably maybe, whether it was like a rehearsal or something, I don't know, but maybe it was his performance there, I don't know. But the guitars and the solo for sure, and then James' vocals were a completely different take at a different time. So what they did probably was they recorded the song, and then when they were editing the video and the audio, they just re-recorded bits and put the recorded bits in there over the top of the live one.
I mean, I haven't watched this in a long time, and I haven't listened to that song in a long time either, and I never really noticed that the production switch in the middle of that. That's really interesting.
It's subtle, though. I don't know.
It is.
It is subtle.
I wouldn't have noticed that when I was in high school, I don't think.
No, definitely not.
Well, and when you heard this song, would you be listening to it in terms of the whole disc?
I've watched this DVD a bunch.
Okay,
but
so it would have
in
been
the last 10 years.
But it would have been in context of the rest of the songs, because I was going to say, if you just
Yeah.
listened to it isolated by itself, you would never know. There's no way you could even know. You wouldn't have anything to base it off of either way.
I've listened to this song by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
I've listened to this album more than I've
Interesting.
watched it, but it would be the same exact thing either way. And it's something that I could only ever have noticed after having done this particular job of mine for the last 5 years.
Just knowing more about audio in general, for sure.
Yeah.
What was the song before that they did? It was
Memory Remains.
Oh yes, Memory Remains. Okay. That I don't know. I'm not surprised that they did that one. Although to me, I always forget about that song. Like I just forget straight up that they did that one. So I was a little surprised when it came on, and I was like, oh, I guess. I'm curious if they do King Nothing later, because I definitely like King Nothing a lot more than Memory Remains, and I just kind of, like I said, they're basically the single from those two albums. And since I think King Nothing is better, to me, I just that weird vocal part kind of ruins Memory Remains for me.
Marianne Faithfull's bit.
Yeah, and I really don't like the way that the song starts. I hate that it just kind of like fortune, like it just like, again, it feels like the song has already been going and we chopped off the intro or something. And I know that's kind of hypocritical, because I complain when they do a 1.5-minute long intro for every song too, like on 72 seasons. But it's, I don't know. That's
the only time I think I've ever heard Patrick be hypocritical.
I think it's probably the only time it's ever happened, and I definitely mentioned it, so it doesn't count.
The pathways in your brain that create hypocrisy are just forming as we hear you, so it's like a whole new sensation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't know. You guys have anything else to say about that? I mean, a lot of people were excited for me to hear No Leaf Clover, and to me, in this context, that totally took me out of the performance. But maybe that's not necessarily what people were excited for. They were just excited to hear me react to a new song. Honestly, I wasn't that impressed with it. Like, I thought it sounded very similar to the previous song, and basically every song they've done so far, because every song Sorry, excuse me. Every song has just been sort of chuggy with the strings going jump, 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 like along with it, and then some type things in it. So the approach to every song has been pretty similar, but
I would say, I think by virtue of that song being written for S&M, it is definitely like, I think it makes better use of the orchestral bits than most of the other album.
Because if that would have been a Metallica song before this, there would have been so much crap that James and Kirk played.
That would have
the orchestra played in this, right? There's a couple riffs, little pieces in there that I'm like, nope, that should have been. If that was a Metallica song, it would have been a guitar part. I mean, I know it's a Metallica song, but like a Metallica song,
right? But like thinking it lists like the really quiet part where they're just beep, like that is by itself would be nothing. The orchestra carries that whole.
Yeah, oh for sure. I think that's what makes it cool. I do. I don't know if it's nostalgia or if that it's actually good, but I like that song.
I actually forgot that happened, so I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that's kind of the downside of doing it this way. You know, we're talking over hearing it for the first time and just hearing it for the first time. But like, yeah, none of the orchestral parts stuck out to me because once the change happened and we realized what was happening, it was hard for me to focus on the orchestra at that point. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But I guess because the moment you said the fact that they wrote this for S&M means they took advantage of the orchestra more. No, I don't think during a single part of that song did I was like noticing the orchestra, which to me would be like huge failure on their part for that exact same reason. If they wrote, you know, if this is the big orchestral song, like why wasn't there a big orchestral section in the song? But I wasn't paying attention to the song for those parts. So like you said, you pointed out specifically, there are things you think that they would have been doing on the guitars that were happening in the orchestra. So I just need to hear it again. So yeah, really weird that they chose to have the like music video-ish version of that included in this, because obviously like the crowd sound and everything going away during the weird James part is just strange. So, okay, all right, we'll go on. How many songs do we have left? I'm curious.
We have 3.
Okay, so not too much. Okay, not that I'm loving this. Like I don't really want it to end, but I don't know. I didn't know when we were going to end. So, okay, I'm at 49:49 right now.
Yep.
All right, you guys ready?
No.
Yes, sir.
I am now.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Got to tune the drums. Haven't heard any timpani. Not too much percussion, other than bells and stuff, xylophones and some chimes and whatnot. Which doesn't surprise me because Lars is the rhythm section for the song. So,
right, it'd be tough to.
Well, you could have lots of shakers and clippy clops and finger cymbals and whatnot, but
yeah.
Nirvana. I know this one. Come as you are, as a friend.
I mean, this is peak 90s guitar effect.
Yeah. I still don't know what song this is.
Hero of the Day. I love this song.
Oh, this is off of Load or Reload. Yes.
Load, yes.
Damn it. I try to remember the songs from Load.
Ha! This is one of my favorite songs from Load.
This is not a Metallica CD.
And I really like what the orchestra brings to this.
I remember that, yeah. Oh, this is the song before Bleeding Me. Okay. I think I'll remember the chorus, hopefully. Why did he go over there? I'm not.
Where he's at.
I'm not dissatisfied that that's where he's at.
He's been doing that the whole time.
Has he?
Kirk started off in the orchestra, and just a second ago, Jason was way in the back.
Oh, okay.
Because they like to wander.
I mean, I've seen him moving around, I guess, but
Lars has been standing up half the set.
Yeah, he'd be on the ceiling if they let him.
He's got to get his movement in.
He'd be on the ceiling if they'd let him.
This song is stupid.
You're stupid.
This arrangement is stupid.
Why?
Remember we were listening to metal a minute ago and that was cool?
It's back.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Awesome. Is that guy's shirt?
Which guy?
I gotta blur that out. There was a guy in the crowd who had a shirt that just said the F word. Good. Right across his chest.
Yeah, he's been on camera like 3 times. I was wondering when you were gonna.
Don't tell me that, Chris. Now editing this, I gotta. Oh. I'll just blur the whole video. People won't be mad at that. Dude, shout out to Jason this song.
I'm telling you, man, I love
fantastic background vocals.
They're way better than Rob's.
Okay, should we pause and then do the last 2 songs together? Or should we do this one and the next one and pause? Keep going. That song kind of disappointed me a little and would be not very standouty. Should we pause?
Why?
Okay, let's not pause. Okay.
I'm talking the whole time anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna complain about it anyway, probably.
We just talk.
I love the dung riff, but yeah. Okay, what do we got? Heavy one now, and then a slow one to end the first half.
This is one for you.
I love whatever this is.
That sounds incredible.
Is this? I don't know, but if they do Ronnie, Chris, I'm gonna lose my mind.
This is not Ronnie.
I know. I could tell.
This is Devil's Dance.
Oh. I don't know which one that is.
It's on Reload. You like this song?
I'm sure I do. I don't remember the names of the songs.
You're doing terrible at that game we were trying to play.
Well, no, I know. It was. I just expected them to be songs from earlier in their career. It makes sense that they're not doing the thrash ones, but I expected more of that, to be honest.
I mean, even just given the timing, like, Reload is the most recent album. They're gonna play a bunch of stuff from it.
For sure. They should do this again now, S&M 3, and it'd be really cool to see what they would do.
S&M 2 is only from 4 years ago.
Yeah, but 72 Seasons is so much better than the 3 albums that came before it. It's sick.
Not true.
Yes, no, it is.
I like 72 Seasons, but it's not better than Hardwired.
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Chris hates this. I can't see... I can't see Chris Schoenberg's reactions this whole video because it's covered by my video. I see you, Chris Parker, but I just imagine Chris Schoenberg right now puking into a bucket.
The part with the horns and the bass at the beginning was really cool.
No, I know for sure. I heard you say that, and this is cool. I love this. This is awesome. I just imagine you not liking this. One day you will see.
I will say that this does sound even better than I remembered it.
Which is good because you you remember it sounding good, so no rose-colored. Let's
I always
dance.
liked this.
That's right. That's how I started our reload reaction. Let's dance.
Oh yeah, all those trumpets had mics in front of them.
Okay, I've been trying to see that.
That was a good shot of that. Mm-hmm. They all had a.
I love that violin line.
I mean, I figured since every stringed instrument had a pickup on it, like they would do it for everything. So
I thought that might have just been though because they were so close to the drums.
Right, but I think they all do. The back second row had them too. So
that's my favorite guitar of James's too. That black diamond plate one.
During the reaction for this, we spent 20 minutes trying to figure out what reminded me of. Remember?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it is, but we figured it out in the video, so go watch that one if you want to know.
Come down.
This is like my favorite Metallica. Just drums like this, plodding, and then just letting them do cool riffs. Just, you know? If I would have discovered Metallica at this point, I really think I would have, I could have gotten into them at this point, I think.
The result would have been the same, though. You would have just liked their worst albums the most.
But at least we could like them the same amount.
So don't
together.
feel like you missed out, Patrick. It all worked out the way it was supposed to.
Sure, but I don't feel like I was missing anything, but... This is Godzilla. I just mean the low brass, like not the P. Diddy thing, just Godzilla soundtracks in general.
Oh, right. I wouldn't have thought the P. Diddy thing.
I know, but since I referenced it earlier.
Yeah.
The video is going to get flagged now because we mentioned P. Diddy. Those things you do.
Jason's cool.
Oh, it's so badass.
It's a cool string thing there at the end.
Okay, well, I'm pausing it. I'm pausing it at 1 hour and 13 seconds. Okay, that was great. I do like that song on the album. It just feels so massive, and I just love the. It's such a cool riff. But that might have almost been a better version, honestly. Like, you know,
I'm telling you, there's plenty of them.
When you have stuff like the Let's Dance part there, like. And kind of during Master of Puppets too, like when you have things, when you do them live and you're more like interpretive with timing, you know, you can be like, you know, on the album, like every time it's let's dance, right? You know, I mean, like everything is the way it is on the album, and it's like he's not ever elongating things or taking liberties with the time to do them a little differently. And so when you see a live performance, that's one of the things that's, you know, different, obviously. And it's, I don't know, like it's that would be one of the things that would be like holding it back from you from saying like that's a better version, because like there's like this weird like interpretiveness or like timing, playing with time element to this that you would never do on like an album. So I don't know, that kind of throws it off for me a little bit. But however, I think it sounds fantastic. The orchestra part in that was really cool. It was just rhythmic. It was just like accompanying the cool rhythm. But because the rhythm is so simple, you can fit other like stabs and stuff in there to really accentuate it and make it sound more than it is, even though it's so cool to begin with, just being the simple thing. You know, the simpler the song is, the more complex you can add stuff over top of it.
Well, and that's one of the things that I think makes this work so well for Metallica is how good they are at playing with space, despite the speed and heaviness of their music. Is that there's just so many different spots where it's open and they can add all these orchestral elements and nobody has to change anything.
For during this time of their career, for sure.
That for sure, but I mean that's always been true about their stuff too.
I mean, sure, definitely more so during
Orchestra
this. Orchestra
didn't play much during the verses of Master of Puppets.
well, it is better for the slower stuff, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's. This is the last one, right? Before the intermission?
Yep.
Okay, let's just do it. I'm at 1 hour and 13 seconds. In 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Do they do any covers on this album?
No.
Of other? Okay.
Are we having fun yet?
That's fun that the music stand lights are controlled.
Yeah, that is
that
cool.
had to have been annoying while you were
a musician.
Yeah, like that your whole person. I mean, I know that they have another light on their music stand, but having that brightness change constantly would be irritating.
Yeah, I'm sure that,
especially if you're a classical musician.
Yeah.
I really want to know what the overlap is of people who are like classical musicians in high level orchestra situations and also but they had always wanted to be rock stars. Like
probably
the closest they could get.
Probably some
probably close to zero. Is that what you're going to say, Patrick?
No, I was going to say that I was going to say there's it's tough. I would say there's probably a few, I mean a good number, right? Because you kind of get stuck in one route or the other. I highly doubt anyone is in a rock band wishing they were in an orchestra, but But I do imagine.
I bet there's as many one way as there is the other. That's
this is bleeding me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This might be my favorite.
I was gonna ask earlier. Do you think? Do you think that any of them are having fun in the moment?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
In this situation, yes, because they don't care about it as much. And that sounds harsh to say, but it's just absolutely true. They don't. So they're just having, I think they're having fun.
If you played in the orchestra for S&M, please comment below whether you were having fun or not. I would like to know.
Make so many comments.
And there are certain orchestras that are just known for like the city of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra is the orchestra that is on every single metal album that's been made since like 1995. Like, if you're from Europe and you have an orchestra on your metal album, it was the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. Because they are just badass, and they love metal music, and that's just what they're known for. And so there are orchestras that are like pops orchestras and stuff that do stuff like this way more often. And so maybe that's what this kind of orchestra is.
See, I think this is when you would get yelled at for talking during the song.
I'm sorry, we're just trying to make a point.
Relevant. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, but this reload baloney anyway, who cares?
No, this is nice. So we get lush strings here accompanying the simple guitar.
I'm gonna start watching a Minecraft video. You guys tell me when this is over.
I just love looking at the orchestra members. Because it's like, do they know what's happening? Do they know? Or is this just another day at work for them?
Both. This is the supreme version of this song.
Okay.
Like, Kirk's guitar could be louder.
Yes. But it doesn't
there is nothing fighting with it on that side.
Very true.
I love where it's at, though.
Absolutely. Normally it would be louder, and the mix decisions here were really just very good.
I like it.
The song felt like it got kind of small there. I don't know. I think Lars's snare drum was maybe sidechain compressing some stuff out there.
Oh.
Did they do the chorus 3 times in this song, Chris?
I think so. It's a pretty long song.
It's a very long song, yeah. I every time I hear the song, I forget how many times they did it. Huh. Rob Zombie. We got a comment on one of our Metallica videos today, Chris. Someone said, you said, pretty interesting, you said that Black Sabbath riff sounded like a Rob Zombie riff. So funny considering that Rob Zombie was so much later than Black Sabbath.
That dude, that string player had earplugs in.
Okay.
Like foamies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like orange foamies.
I would be shocked if most of them didn't have them in. See, they're playing not even being able to hear nothing. They're just watching the conductor. That's how little they care. But they can hear and feel their own instrument. Of course.
And they might just have them in because it's loud. You know?
Oh, I'm sure that's why they have them in.
Yeah.
They haven't been near an amplifier in the last 25 years. Within sight of one.
What's wrong with the acoustics of the building, they say?
Mm-hmm. That is what they would say.
I know.
And then write a paper about it. This is what you love, the meandering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chris, you and I have got to listen to my favorite Poison Black songs. I think that every time I listen to this type of Metallica.
I love it when they just jam.
Yeah.
Tell him, Jason.
Oh.
There's your percussion.
Yeah. I see there's a guy with this guy playing the snare drum back there, and it's like his mic was muted the entire time. There's people standing in the crowd and kind of moving around. That's kind of cool. See, now here you could get some like, hey, 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 from the crowd or something to get it a little bit more going, you know? They never did, they don't do that ever though, huh? I just realized
They
that.
definitely do.
Well, the artist, James doesn't really stand up there and like conduct the audience, you know? Not conduct in this case, but like, son of
I think he's... I tried to tell you.
They should have been doing that the whole time, was my point. Oh, yeah. Give me some of that. Yes. Little bell tinkly stuff. That is cool shot. Wow. Awesome shot.
Another first.
Yeah, yes.
Shot-wise.
Well, they usually move the crane arm cameras around the arena, you know, to do different stuff. That could have been one from above or behind them, because there were shots from above before. But, man, that was cool. A little retardando at the end. awesome. That's cool. I mean, the whole thing's cool, but like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, friends.
Yeah, this is definitely the first time I'm seeing like footage of them performing from this era of their career at all. So that's very cool. Should I pause
and
it?
And it's like I'm happy to admit that's the least sounding Metallica.
Here,
song
I'm leaving it run while they're like clapping for the orchestra and stuff.
But I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I necessarily like that more than the version of the. Like, I just wish they would have put all that stuff on your albums, you idiots. That's just the thing that, but I understand why not. I understand. I get it. Mm-hmm. I just, all the bands that I listen to and like, okay, so I'm going to pause it now. Because they were getting the next song. All the bands that I listen to and like, they do this stuff, but they just have it in as part of their act. Mm-hmm. It's not a special thing that there's an orchestra playing with them. And that's not all the bands, but that to me is what's special about symphonic metal and why I would say it is, if not my favorite, my second favorite genre of music, because it's so many things compacted into it at once and so many things that don't feel like they should go together, but they do. Okay. So overall thoughts here. I'm disappointed in the lack of any variety whatsoever across the songs, which it doesn't surprise me because you said, Chris, sometimes it's kind of hard to view this from the time when it was made, because I just experienced all of Metallica over the last 2 years. So the fact that this is just what Metallica was doing at the time, it makes sense, I guess, that they would do this. But to me, all I hear about is how great Metallica's first 4 albums are, and the fact that there was one song from those albums on this, it's the first half at least, is crazy to me. Like the fact that there wasn't For Whom the Bell Tolls, or the other song that's on Ride that's like this. What's the other song?
I don't like what?
The slow ones that are the massively popular ones. Fade to Black and For Whom the Bell Tolls. Like the fact that neither
Fade to Black, yeah.
I'm assuming both of those are on the second half, and if they're not, then I'll be shocked. Like I'm sure both of those are on this. And I don't tell me if they are or not. Obviously, I want to keep
just
this
looking
secret,
at the set list. I think I would say that I like the second half of this better than the first.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's pretty close because they are doing different things.
Well, I mean, the fact that they did, I don't want to look at it because I only see the second half, but the fact that they did the Bleeding Me, and then what was the song they did before this one? Or just keep the set list up.
Devil's Dance.
Yeah, the fact that they did both of those together in a row is a little weird. Like, I would think that they would have put maybe a bit of a heavier, faster one in between those, maybe, but again, like, I have to keep in mind, like, this is just what Metallica was at the time. So the fact that they would have 5, mid-tempo songs in a row kind of makes sense. But to me, is just learning about Metallica. Like, everyone just talks about how great they are and how fast they are and how they're a thrash band and all this blah blah. And then they return to their true form later on in their career. Having experienced everything in this big chunk now, it's hard to separate the years in between and stuff. So
it's really interesting. Like, without the context of this being S&M, like, this is hardcore a Reload tour album. Like.
That is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah, because Reload came out in 97. This was the next thing that they did because the garage was all covers. And so it's like, if you're touring, you're doing Reload songs primarily.
Yeah, but that is not how most bands approach something like this. When you do, when you're a band and you do like band with orchestra, it is a greatest hits. It is not a
but I think that
touring with your current album.
To Chris's point, I think, there wasn't a lot of orchestra in this versus Master of Puppets, and it is not, it is probably more difficult to make it worth everybody's time to throw orchestra into all of their fastest music.
Right. And so
it's not going to sound good.
I disagree with that completely. I don't think that's true at all. And I think that there are things that they could do. And I think if we went back and listened to Master of Puppets, you'd be surprised because I think there was stuff going the entire time. Now,
and but I have not watched S&M 2, and I know that the set list is different. And I think it might be heavier. I'd have to look at it, but it'd be worth looking at for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe we'll do that if people really like this and want us to do it. It probably wouldn't be for quite a long time, but that we would do that. But so yeah, I guess to me, I'm surprised that they didn't do. I mean, I have only seen half of this. Obviously, this is where we're going to end the video for now, though. But like, we're not going to do the second half. We're going to do that at a separate time, separate video. But I think, I don't know. I'm surprised at the lack of great. Like, why didn't? Again, I don't know the rest of the set list, but like, why did we have A Wolf of Man in there? Like, why wasn't the second song Enter? I mean, I'm assuming Enter Sandman will be probably the last song, but like. Why didn't we have Enter Sandman? Why didn't we have what's the song? The other song?
Sad but True.
Yes, yeah, Sad but True. Why not that? We also didn't have like probably like legitimately the 4 best Metallica songs across their entire career are Enter Sandman, Sad but True, Nothing Else Matters, and the other slow song off of Black Album. All the songs that fade out on that album. Unforgiven, right. So like
that's the 4 best songs of Metallica's career.
Possibly, I would think they're being probably in my top. Well, other than the fade outs make them like the bottom 4. But like without the fade outs, like those are like legitimately 4 fantastic, phenomenal songs. All 4 of those need to be on this. If they're not,
I really don't like Nothing Else Matters. I'm going to say it, but
I think that's insane. I think that's I think it's one of their best songs. But
the thing that's driving me the craziest is as I'm looking at the wiki article for this now, which I haven't done until 2 minutes ago, that they're calling the Black Album Metallica. And it just makes me mad.
Yeah. I mean, it is their self-titled album, I guess.
Yeah, it's self-titled.
But like, I don't know.
But everyone just calls it the Black Album.
It's really weird. And like everything that I've even seen in print says Black Album because...
I mean,
metal stuff,
but is that
technically it has the name Metallica written on it?
Yeah,
it is the self-titled album, but
because I mean, like the Beatles' White Album is that's just called the Beatles?
I don't know,
right? I mean, what I'm saying is there's a precedent for
Let's
like bands.
Let's talk about Weezer then for a minute.
Right, I was going to say Blue Album, Green Album.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying there's a precedent in music industry for this. Because the Beatles had a White Album, that's why Metallica made the Black Album, I thought.
No, I think that's why Jay-Z made the Blueprint.
I don't think that had anything to do with anything, but
I don't know.
No, there was a Jay-Z Beatles thing though about the colors.
Oh, they got 99 colors, but Chartreuse ain't one. Well, because I do remember specifically, this is different, but
yeah, he had an album called the Black Album.
For Hardwired, they specifically wanted a white cover because when you went to the store and looked in the heavy section or the metal section or the rock section, every album was dark colored, and they wanted it to be white and bright colored so that it would stand out on the shelves. The CD would stand out on the shelf in the pockets.
Shelves.
It probably worked for 72 Seasons also.
Shelves.
I like saying shelf.
It's shelms with an N.
The shelms.
Yeah.
But you know, though, if you were talking about EQ filters, I think I would say shelves instead of shelves.
Right, because it's
multiple
shelves.
If we talk about the verb about what it does, I would say shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was talking about multiple EQs,
I think it's
that raised or lowered one end of the spectrum,
like low pass shelves.
Yeah, high shelf.
I think I would say
I think
shelf,
it's because it counts as a pronoun.
Shelves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I was thinking the whole time. So you're just catching up to what I was thinking. I'm glad you finally caught up to me.
This is an audio channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are the real issues.
The amount of times that we have said low pass filter on this channel in this year, the last 2 years specifically, you could, if I had $1 for every time, I would have been able to buy that PlayStation a couple weeks sooner.
But how many times have you ever said lifetime, said low pass filter or high pass filter, and said the right thing the first time?
Oh,
almost
never.
Almost never, right? Like
it's
maybe 10%.
Fewer times than when I've tried to plug in a USB cord and I didn't have it upside down. that we're getting into high numbers. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really can see a lot of negative comments on this video. Look down there, everybody. They're down there right now waiting for you to go check them out. So, because the second this gets posted, there will be negative comments. It won't even have been possible for a human being to watch the entire video before we get comments about how at 010115, Patrick said something stupid or whatever, and it's fine. That's great. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Speaking of guys named Jason, do you guys watch Card Magic by Jason Ladani, or however he says his last name?
It's possible I've come across a video because I do see Card Magic stuff, but I don't.
Dude, you should go look him up. He is absolutely incredible. But the best thing about him is that, like, his videos are, I guess it's mostly for TikTok where he's really popular. So most of his videos are short because it's just a card trick. But he rips on the haters. He does a good job of it. We do okay.
We just bait them and then.
Well, Chris, you have
show up and then don't do anything to them when they get here.
Yeah,
Chris,
I hope that some of you guys are becoming friends down there. Like in the hate, like you guys like each other's hateful comments enough, and then like you meet up and kiss in an alley somewhere. That's what I'm starting to think that you guys are doing.
I mean, Chris, you haven't been around as much, and so you missed the Nightwish videos.
And I only read the comments on the videos that I'm in. I only actually watch the videos.
Okay, hold on.
Sometimes I'll scroll through one of you guys, but I don't watch the whole thing.
Leave us a comment and maybe we'll read it in a future video like this one. 26 minutes ago, at Xanderbeck7095 said, see if you guys can guess what reaction this was from on our channel, okay? This was the first time I actually listened to this entire album. God, it's awful. Good video, though.
Oh, Lulu. It's Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu, 100%. That was just all like that comment. But
along with 1,000 other comments that said
the same thing.
Except for he said he liked the video, and most people just say
no. People like it because they're like, okay.
I thought that was our best video, possibly because I said the funniest thing. But
what did you say?
I do think it's one of the best videos we've done. I think
spermless like a girl.
No, there was a moment where a bunch of nonsense was happening, and then there was like a single guitar note, and I said, "Music, is that you?" And for some reason, Patrick lost his mind for like 10 straight minutes.
Saying that right now is hilarious to me, and I don't even remember that happening. But I do agree. But I think our most watched video by far is Load, I think, or Reload, one of the two.
Wow.
And then 72 seasons, I think, actually might be the highest.
I am looking this up right now.
But
what's the view count on those high ones? Because I know that something's at like 65K or something I've seen.
Whoops, not that one. Patrick Musilek.
Here's one from Load we just got a little bit ago. This is from Reload. Audio engineers react to Reload. The kick in Low Man's lyric just sounds like they took the sample off. Thanks for that. At Lee
like
B-16.
The sample off?
Yeah, that's what he said. Here's one from 72 Seasons. I like this, but I have to say, it is fascinating to view someone who has zero self-awareness. It's like you came from a bubble. Certainly, no offense intended, just an observation. I'll like that one, and I'll even give
observation,
that one a heart.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's maybe the better stat. Do you guys know how many videos are in Patrick's Metallica Reactions video playlist?
Oh, no.
I'm shocked by this. I know I'm not in all of them, but I'm shocked.
20.
Patrick?
I'm going to guess 26.
It's 25.
Okay. Wow. There will be 26 when I put this one in.
I wouldn't have guessed that it was... Oh, it doesn't show the freaking... things. The live Metallica experience, Patrick didn't get very many views on that one,
but more than an average video.
Load is 78. Reload is
that's the one where Chris
57
was there with us.
That one has me in it.
Hey, I just my channel. Okay, I just logged into my YouTube the YouTube partner or not partner, the YouTube creator app, and this is what it says. It says your channel is 17 years old.
Wow.
Today or whatever. Blow out the candles, make a wish, and think about all you've achieved. View my analytics.
Don't do that.
Hold on. Let's view my analytics. This month, I think this is over the last 30 days. We've had 35.7 thousand views.
That's good.
6,000
views a day.
6.4 thousand hours of watch time. This is from November 13th.
This is a great comment from back in the day.
Okay.
Master of Puppets, 41,000 views. It's just Chris and Patrick in this. Me and Patrick in this one. Hussa Mraza official 5478 1 year ago says, This is 2 hours and 34 minutes of Chris wishing Patrick would stop talking and just listen to the damn album. That's the top comment.
Love it.
That's the best.
Love it.
Good job.
Love it.
I think I might upvote that.
I really like looking at the comments that people chose to like thumbs up, because some of them I'm really shocked. Like people really like, they're usually not super bad ones, but a lot of them, they're a little bit more insightful ones. But
I wish people knew that despite the fact that I do have a red nose, it is not even half as red in real life as it is on these videos because of Patrick's crappy monitor.
Oh, the way the videos look?
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah. Oh my God, they're so bad. Some of the early ones. Oh, here's Chris. Here's a comment we got Chris Parker. Here's a comment we got 2 days ago on our Poppy video. It says, "Hey, this is a good one for us to know. Hey, since you're using Spotify, if you hit the Q button on the bottom right, you can start a jam session and listen at the same time together. That way you don't have to worry about pausing and playing at the same time. It should happen automatically."
YouTube has to have the same thing. There has to be
as far as I know, I don't think so. But every time I start playing anything on Spotify the last like 2 weeks, it says, "You can start a jam session. Do you want other people to join this?" And I always just like click the crap out of that stuff because I don't want to know any updates. But like that's actually a great comment. That's perfect.
I've done something similar where I've gone over to my friend's house and then like 3 of us will sit and there will be just like a shared Spotify playlist between us.
Yeah, you told me you guys do that sometimes.
And we just add stuff to it and then it plays and we talk about it as it plays. Mm-hmm. It's pretty sweet.
So interestingly enough, over the last, we've gained 70 subscribers over the last 28 days, which is down from what we normally gain. We're actually at 5,508 now, so we're over 5,500. Thank you, everybody.
Cool.
And interestingly, the estimated channel revenue for this 28 days is $6.47. So I don't know which video actually was allowed to
make money.
It's probably one of your glass etching ones from 2007.
I did put when I went back through and put all the ads on those. Boy, howdy, did no one ever watch them after that. No one, but
did they watch them before?
Yeah, that video has like 30,000 views on it or something. Do you see what the views are, Chris? Yeah, on how to glass etch a mirror.
I think 78 looks like the highest for the Metallica ones.
Okay.
And I am in one of the ones that's at 78, so that makes me happy.
Well,
nice.
Because I remember on our Discord, someone was like, "Hey, 72 Seasons has 72,000 views," and they were really excited about it. So, should we check what video that has no views? Pretty much. Here's my Breaking Benjamin reaction. Has 199 views. Should we check a comment? Do Periphery. Here's one from Team Wolfie Soupy. You know what else you've been saying for over a year? It starts with Pink and ends with Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. Well, speaking of that, Mr. Team Wolfie Soupy, guess what was recently uploaded to the channel, and I just have to push a few buttons and get it to go live. That is right. I teased this at the beginning of the video. This will be the thing we end on for this video. I have the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon reaction uploaded with the music ready to go. I just had to split it into 2 parts. So
we recorded that in like May.
No, Chris, we recorded it in August of 2023.
Very good.
So I know the exact day we recorded it. I have it. I had it ready to go last December, and it was copywritten. It was blocked worldwide, and then cancer happened, and we released other videos, and I didn't get back to it. But now, because I really don't want to release that without the music in it, so the compromise is cutting it in half, which I don't know why that has any relevancy whatsoever, because all the music's still in it. It's ridiculous and stupid. But I'm going to try, I think Cody and I are going to try to set that to be a premiere. I'm going to premiere both videos on the same day. Just when one ends, I'll start the premiere of the next one right away, right after it. Uh-huh. And we're going to do that, try to do that, when I'm maybe in the hospital or something. We were going to do it.
Did you like that out? One word answer, Patrick. Did you like that album?
Not even close. I think it's awful.
That was a lot of words, but okay.
Yeah, no. We could talk about it a lot.
Dude, you're going to get murdered in the comments on that.
Hey, you should watch me and Cody's Beach Boys reaction.
Pet Sounds?
Yeah, every song on Pet Sounds fades out.
Like Pet Sounds?
Every song fades out, Chris. Every song on Pet Sounds. Well, every song was poorly written.
I mean, I know better, but I feel like you're missing
Pet Sounds it's nothing compares to the horrific atrocity that is Led Zeppelin 4. That is the worst thing I've ever reacted to on the channel. It sounds horrific.
I should.
People are the roast. Anyone who thinks that sounds passably good in any way possible is delusional. I don't care what year that came from. Jesus could have been playing guitar on that, and the recording equipment they had at that time could have had the potential to sound better than what those idiots did. Oh my God, it's so terrible. It is awful. It's so bad. It sounds terrible. It's awful.
Well, we made it. We went from Metallica to Beach Boys, so I'd say that we're probably.
I think we have enough hate in the comments stirring. There's like a bubbling, boiling, raw mass of this guy's such an idiot. Guess what? I have leukemia, so feel like for saying that mean stuff to me, you jerks. Also, I didn't point out that I wore this shirt because. Did I point out at the beginning of the video? I can't remember. I maybe said it before we started recording.
You didn't.
I bought this shirt to wear in a reaction video with you guys, like in February or something at the beginning of this year. And I was looking through my closet as what I wanted to wear because this is a special video because we haven't done a Metallica one in a long time. I presume this video will get quite more views than most of this stuff unless the algorithm has passed us by at this point. But I was like, what could I wear? And you guys won't see this, but I had a whole suit on that I sat down and then took off, gradually revealing the Guardians of the Galaxy shirt that I'm wearing. And so that's the origin of that. And with that, we can end the video. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you for part 2 when we get together to do that. And also, I really mean this sincerely, our top 12 albums of the year videos are really special. We put a lot of effort and time into those, and we get to talk about a lot of awesome new music that came out just this year. So if you're someone watching this who's been stuck listening to just Metallica for the last, 20, 30 years, if you're looking for something new, check out those videos that we release in the coming weeks, because there's going to be a lot of awesome music there. Metal, not metal, all sorts of fun stuff. Check those out coming up soon, and then who knows what the future for the channel holds, but hopefully you'll stick around and find out. We will see you all for part 2 next time. Today, for the very first time, believe it or not, I will be listening to The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. If you're a big fan of Pink Floyd, skip to the next section, okay? Just skip to the next section because I'm going to talk for a little bit now about all the things that I read yesterday, okay? Okay.
What, like all the bad stuff?
All right.
So you think that you're going to tell them all a bunch of stuff they know already? Is that what's happening?
No. I think they're going to be very frustrated if they watch this section of the video.
Are you going to talk about how pretentious they are? Or?
No. I have...
Good.
Okay. You give people time to leave? I'm serious. Go to the next section.